That's always happens. What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? What's up? Mic check 1 2. Making sure I'm not too loud. Making sure you guys can also listen, hear the music as well too. Anyways, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. Okay, we are back. Okay, from a nice long vacation, a very long vacation, and we also have Mr. Best in the World 84 in the building.
Yo, season 3, everybody. Let's get it. We are here. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of special things coming up with y'all, man. And we just really trying to put a lot of things together. What's going on, Simon? What's going on? She Stole My Thunder. Good to see y'all in the building, man. You know what I mean? It's cool to be back, man. You know what I mean? So, hey, the boys are back in town.
Back in town.
Oh, man. What's going on, M3?
Not much, Mr. Best. How you doing, man?
Chilling, man. You already know what it is, man.
Yeah. Now, we do have, like I said, we do have Miss She Stole My Thunder in the building. So you know how we be, man. We gotta wait a minute. Hold on. Uh-oh. When the raindrops fall from the sky. I'm gonna get that auto-tune someday, man. I'm telling you. Shout outs to She Stole My Thunder. Thank you for tuning in. Canada's best and very own, OVX or whatever you call it, Drake City. Anyways, and salutes to Simon. Yes, we're gonna be talking about money. Hold on, let me make sure I put my phone on vibrate. Excuse me, people. There we go. All right, man. So, and also shout outs to Daryl Long. He's in the building as well, too. So, salutes to Daryl Long. So, anyways, man, okay. We're going to be having a good controversial topic. All right. As you see the title, money is the ultimate happiness. Although, I wish I had like a cha-ching sound effects. I wish I had money sound effects, but I don't, unfortunately. But that will be coming soon in the near future. All right, if I can find some sound bits for that. But anyways, let me go ahead and pull out my notes because I got my notes ready. And because a lot of times, let me just say this. A lot of times we do have like people in certain organizations, certain religions that will argue with it. We have a lot of people who will say the old saying, okay? And it's also written in scripture by the Bible, if you follow it, that says money is the root of all evil. Okay. Now, I get that, right? But what if we are reading the scriptures incorrectly? Or what if it was tempered? We don't know that. Okay. We just know that, certain times they have their own jargons. It salutes to 100 Watts. He's in the building.
Man, 100 Watts, what's going on? Watts, I got a show coming up for you, man, on Saturday, man. When I ask for help. I told you I was gonna do that show when I got started again. And I'm keeping my word, dog. Come on through and holler at me. D, I see you in the building too, Daryl Long. What's going on? What's going on? I see you in the building, bro. What up? Go ahead, M3.
Yeah. Remember, Watts is the guy who love those that love him. But thank you for tuning in. So look, we're going to dive into like a couple of like scriptures that and I'm gonna get my little points into it. All right. So the first point is like the first scripture is in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 10. Okay, whereas it says, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Yes. Right? Okay. Now, we hear that a lot of times. But I think the problem is when we hear like that type of scripture, okay, we look at something that is tangible, okay, as the corruption, the tool that pretty much warps our minds, shifts it, and cause us to do uh horrible, shady, shifty type of things. It's like us saying, well, I robbed a bank, allegedly, you know what I mean? Well, actually, metaphorically, I meant. I robbed a bank metaphorically, but the devil made me do it. Okay? Now, how oftentimes that we always blame the devil for things that we've done to ourselves and for other people. Okay? But we don't want to take the accountability for it. So I think when people read that type of scripture, it's us that misinterprets things, and we look at things like, well, yeah, like you see why people are unhappy? Well, it's because of money. You see why people cheat? Well, it's because of money. Well, you see why I'm poor and miserable and all that stuff? Well, it's because of the lack of money, whatever the case is. So my point is that from the scripture of First Timothy now, it's crucial to notice that it's the love of money, not money itself. It's caused a root of evil here, but money is when managed wisely, provides security, covers basic needs, and open doors for growth in both personally and for our community. When it is managed right. But again, when you mismanage money or you don't have money etiquette, you're going to look at money that's going to be something that is against you rather than a tool that can actually open outlets to help benefit for yourself, your family, and your community. I was talking to one of my co-workers, right? Shout outs to Carlos, right? So Carlos was like, he probably be watching this channel right now. You know what I mean? And Carlos was like, he gave his opinion to it based off the title. And he was like, a lot of people will always have a saying, even like in Spanish, and they'll say something that like, well, I am the most happy without money. My life has been so great without money. And his response to them is this: you are absolutely lying to yourself. 100%. And you're very delusional. I get it, there's other sources of happiness besides money. But when people talk about the takeaway of money, as the old saying, better to be poor than a rich liar. You rather to be poor and delude yourself to be happy, even though you're really miserable on the inside. And the way how he broke it down is that a lot of times the reason why people are really unhappy is because they don't have money to open the tools of what they really desire. And what the heart desires is basically maybe travel, maybe getting a lot of women, maybe, exploring certain options, maybe having like your own establishment where now, instead of you becoming the slave of money, now you make your money a slave. You know what I mean? So, but when you don't have those things to get yourself started, again, money management. This is where people get depressed. I'm going to pause talking for a minute, but Mr. Best, I'm for sure you probably have something to say, or maybe a lot to say about this.
Oh, you already know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Look, I'm about to slow roast cook this, but I'm about to cook it indeed. The great Mike Tyson, I'll probably send you the clip. Watch it fight. The great Mike Tyson says, you know what I mean, if you think money will make you happy, if you think having a lot of money, I'm saying, and this is a man who probably has had more money than anybody can think of. You know what I'm saying? And all that didn't take away from his drug addiction and his traumas and everything else that he had going on. So some people, and when he speaks about money, he said he's glad that he doesn't have the money that he used to have, so that he doesn't have to deal with the temptations and the people that's trying to pull him to get money out of him. You know what I mean? And the temptations that was pulling him in his life. because he actually had real wealth. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's the big thing. But also, I think for those who say that they're happy without money, I think it's a twofold thing. I'm gonna get into a couple of schemes. I think one, for somebody to say that, I think it could come from a concept of delusion, as you're saying, right? It could come from that, and that's one caveat. But also can come from the fact that, you know what I mean, they actually are happy without money. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, and basically, you know what I mean. Salute the Great Pill Podcast. I see you in the building. You know what I mean. Salute to Leather to the Fallout, late to the Fallout. But yeah, at the end of the day, they could be happy without money because their value system and their core beliefs and who they are is not based on finances. It's based on basically their principles and who they are. And some people, all they require is this just being around family. You know what I mean? Their family values, their culture, all those things, it basically overrules money. You ever heard of the saying that your money is no good here? You know what I mean? Somebody try to give somebody money and they say, hey, look, your money ain't no good here. It's ain't about money. It's about principles, it's about morals, it's about who I am, it's about what I'm doing as a person. So they're looking at it from the fact that, yo, I'm not looking at your money. I don't care about your money. I care about basically, you know what I'm saying? You know, salute to Mr. Kareem Bliss Johnson. Salute. Salute to the OG. You know what I mean? Much respect. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to Kareem Bliss Johnson, man. That's definitely the OG. Much love and respect, man. You know what I mean? Definitely somebody I look up to in this YouTube game and look to for advice and counsel as well. Whenever I can. You know what I mean? We always politic. Salute to also Great Pill and watching all that. Salute to everybody got a channel. We're along. Make sure you like and subscribe to everybody. But let me continue my point. At the end of the day, you know, that could be a part of it. Their morals, principles, and who they are, you know, overrule money. You know what I'm saying? Because they rely on their culture or their religion, and that's what is true wealth for them. If their culture and backed upon religion, if that's working for them, they don't care about nothing else. You know what I mean? So they don't care about what somebody thinks. They don't care about finances and things of that nature because they have a decorum. They have a lifestyle. They have a credence. You know what I mean? They have a standard, a code that they live by. So they don't care about that. So so that's one. I think also when it comes to, I'm gonna just say our community. I'm gonna say the Black community. I think with our community, right? We don't. You know what I mean? The reason why we have such a dysfunctional relationship with money, or really any culture that comes here that is not part of the colonizers and the oppressors, right? Or who are not part of the capitalist system, who have their own system, or they coming from a different system, or they're opposing capitalism, you know, completely. When you don't control the economics of a country or of a land, then you always are gonna be messed up. It's always going to be dysfunction. I don't care how much money they give you. I don't care what roles they give you. I don't care what benefits they give you. As long as you are not in control of it, right? That's like me saying, okay, that's like me giving you a mansion, right? And I said, M3, this is your mansion, right? It's your mansion, M3. Hey, do with it you will, right? So you fixing it up. You doing different things, right? But then I come a month later and I'm like, you know what, M3? I don't like that paying, man. You got to take that down. Is it really yours if I'm now starting to dictate it? You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens with us when it comes to money. In capitalism, we don't make the rules. We're given the rules. So they say, hey, okay, you say, okay, I'm making all this money. I want to live in this community. I want to move out the hood. I'm going to go to this community. Yeah, I know it's all, you know, Jewish, or it's all Italian, or it's all Dutch, but I'm going to that community because I want to live there. And you go to that community and you have the money, right? You have the money, you have the credit, you have the collateral, you have everything. And they redline you. They tell you no, right? You don't belong here. You can't live here. You know what I mean? And you're like, what? I have the money. I have the collateral. I have all that stuff. Why can I not move here? You know what I'm saying? It's because you're not in control of the finances within that structure. You know what I'm saying? And as long as we're not in control of capitalism, it'll never benefit us. No matter how much money we get, no matter what roles we get, no matter how high we go into politics or in entertainment, you don't have control. They can cut you at the legs at any time. You know what I'm saying? You can look at it from Michael. You can look at it from Prince. You can look at it from Phyllis Hyman. You can look at it from politicians. You can look at it from anybody, social activists, anybody we could think of that was high up there, Bill Cosby, anybody. And I'm not talking about what these people did that was right or wrong. I'm just talking about where they was at as far as their status, right? Kyrie Irving, whoever. As soon as they want to do something to you, they cut you at the legs because you don't have control of the finances. You don't have control of economics. But if we control economics, right, and we have control over capitalism, and we have control over shit, I might get banned for saying this shit, but whatever. If we have control over capitalism and politics and things of that nature, and we made the rules, there'll be a whole different outcome. You know what I'm saying? The poverty will be different, everything will be different. We will be more happy and thriving because we would know, hey, we have control over these things. That's why people in France and other countries, they can have an uprising and fight against the government and all that because they have control over that. And if a politician or something like that ain't working, they'll clap them and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Yes, everything I was told to be questioned in social society. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So the whole money thing, like that's always gonna be an issue for us because you know what I'm saying, we always, as the great Mr. Johnson says, I gotta quote you, Mr. Johnson, I got to. We always fall for the delusion of the bag. Stop falling for the delusion of the bag. Like, yo, stick to your principles, your morals, and your standards, man. Don't fall for that. You know what I mean? It's an okie doke. Because if you fall for it and things go left, don't say you haven't heard it before. All right? And that's just the facts. So that's what I think about the whole money thing, man. I don't think it's evil. I just think we don't have control over it. We don't have control over the financial structure in this country. Point blank, period.
That is very well said, and I'm glad that you brought up the economics because the economics is definitely key. It's definitely something that as blacks that we definitely have to really figure out how to take control of that. Before I even go into it, right? So I gotta, because your boy been in YouTube school, right? So YouTube taught me some things that I'm supposed to say, and I usually forget. But I gotta let people know that, hey, look, what we discuss about is for educational purposes. This is nothing to slander, give any misinformation. This is our own personal opinions, and our opinions is not intended to harm other people's views and beliefs, but at the same time, we're just being honest and 100%, authentic. So there you go, YouTube. But thank you. Anyways, the thing is, right? You can control your own personal finance at a certain point, but we got to work on bringing our people together so we could create our own economics. The problem is that when it comes to community building, anything that usually ties into money, there's always going to be some type of distrust, like from our own people, or we give someone a shot that looks like us, but then let's say we get scammed. Now, here's the thing: look, other people in other communities probably got scammed by their own people. Okay, I'm not going to negate that, but the thing is that when we go through one bad experience and we already come into like a heart that is like not really trusting in the powers that we could do together, and then something like this happens, then our initial thought is, man, I should have went with the white man the whole time, man. Like I would have had a better deal, or I would have been in a better position. I would have been more safer because we're programmed to think this way. Now, of course, if you have one of these discussers on the Fresh and Fit show, they're going to look at us like we're being victims. We're not taking accountability. We're lazy and all this other stuff. But that's not really the case. The case is not about laziness. It's that the problem is that we're being taught something different. Right? Okay. Kareem said, right? Everything that was taught to us has to be questioned and tossed aside. I.e., an example, school. No one taught us how to run a business. No one taught us how to build your own economics, how to build like your own financial wealth and get to financial freedom. Every school pretty much taught us how to be the best employee, okay, for someone else's company. And I never really look at it like it was a big deal until, later down in like in my later years. And I'm like, wow, like everything that I feel like I was taught by school was pretty much like a lie. Or maybe not a lie, but a lot of things was definitely omitted. That's the same thing like when you're reading certain passages or scriptures or whatever. Nowadays you gotta kind of question that, because you gotta go through the main source. You can't just come at anything that you read with a blind eye and just trust anything. Everything you have to question in anyone's motives now these days because you never know the main root of it. Let me get to my second point because I got a couple of points. I think I got like 4 points, but the second point, right?
May I speak on the last thing you just said?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
And I think with our people, we gotta just focus on our bottom line, man. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, if we finally take over and basically start to go against the grain and say, hey, look, we want to have control over, the financial market as well. We want to have equal footing. We don't care what y'all saying. We don't care who y'all threatening. We don't care about none of that. Like, we are not gonna no longer just sit here and just take a job or take a position or just take money or do these different things. No. We want that financial control and freedom that everybody else has, that the powers that be got. You know what I'm saying? Where we can dictate how we want to move and how we want to be and who we have and things of that nature. And I think with our people, we gotta get away from thinking about people who are going to be negative or detractors or whatever. You're always going to have that, no matter what you do, no matter what type of movement you have, no matter what type of structure you have. There's always going to be people that are going to be naysayers and negative, right? And when it comes to building a black community back or even trying to establish that, you're going to have degenerates. They're just a part of the nation. You know what I'm saying? But with that, what you do is that those people are usually either forced, what I mean, by physical means or even by financial means to get their act together. Or and if they don't get their act together, they're either shunned or in some cultures they delete those people. Like they'll delete you. They'll either delete you or put you in prison if you're going against the grain. You know what I'm saying? It's like some North Korea type stuff, right? So that's how it is. So I'm not saying we got to go to those extremes. But what I'm saying is that, we got to focus on our bottom line. We can't focus on the degenerates who are going to maybe mess up some opportunity or, they may mess up something like that. We got to just stay focused on our plan. Our plan is to build community. We're going to build community. Whoever's with it, come on this side. Whoever's not with it, go on that side. And that's it. You know what I mean? And then we just, we weed out the bad, we keep the good, we keep it moving. Every community has that. You don't think Jewish community has that? You don't think Italian communities have that? Every community has that. Everybody has their good and bad. But their overall bottom line will not be stopped. They have a bottom line and they're sticking to it. And whoever's not with it, like I said, they get dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not advocating for violence. All right? I'm just saying, what I mean? Whatever means needs to happen. By any means necessary, is whatever needs to happen. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, definitely well said, let me go ahead to, let me see. Actually, I'm going to skip number 2 real quick because that might not even be relevant. But let's see, point number 3. It says, keep your lives free from the love of money and be content with what you have. Okay. Now, again, some people are probably legitimately like content with not having a lot of resources. Okay. Not having a lot of problems based on the finances that they have. Just like when you was mentioning about like like Mike Tyson, you know when he was going through his problems, when he had more money versus maybe how he's living now with less money, you know. But not a lot of people could really like say that. Not a lot of people actually went through the experience of being wealthy or being rich. And so over in Hebrews, we're reminded to be content, but contentment and stability are mutually exclusive. Financial stability, free from the shackles of debt, can indeed pave the way to be content and happy. Can pave the way to a content and happy life. So, meaning basically, the point is that everything is not about having the most money. And honestly, and I think that's where we get caught up in. Um, it's when we get caught up in the greed part, we already have enough, but we want more. So, what do you do when you're not content of having more? Salutes to E. Man Williams. Salute, salute. Money
Wait a minute,
was not his
man.
problem. Okay. Well, no, not money is not his problem. But however, right, it's the way how people view you based on what you have. Again, money is just a tangible tool that actually gives you the outlet for many of the things that you can afford. And unfortunately, again, either two things: you're having bad poor money management, or something new. You're having the wrong type of friends who are not on your level. So because they're not on your level and you're doing better than them, they're gonna find a way to try to tear you down. But the problem is that people still blame money for their problems. So yes, I do agree to you on that part. But again, going back to here, sometimes, man, like people, they just want to get out of debt. Maybe like the sense, the feeling of just being debt free. Okay, and this might be speaking for like just like average people, just like us. And I bet you any average person's dream right now, besides trying to get a whole bunch of women, try to get a whole bunch of money, if they could just get out of financial debt, that's like the first step of happiness because you feel freed up. You feel like you don't owe anybody anything. They use money as an excuse for their bad behavior. Of course, again, if you came in earlier, like I was reading, like they say money is the root of all evil. But honestly, you know, it is, to me, in my opinion, is people's selfishness and their greed, poor financial decisions, poor money management, and not really being educated. And as Mr. Best was insinuating, like as far as with our community, is like we have a poor. I'm just paraphrasing, but basically we have a poor attachment to money. You know, this is something that was created. It wasn't created by us. I'll just say it like that. You know, we didn't place the value of it. We probably people back then in other countries have a different value system besides money. But then who am I? I don't know. I haven't been out to those countries. I'm just, just thinking at the top of my mind. You know, last point is whoever loves money has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with the income. And that's in Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 10. Again, people, this could be controversial, but between people like who are in the Christian faith or people who don't really believe in the Bible and think like these scriptures are basically just written down to pretty much keep us institutionalized, who knows? But again, the endless pursuit of wealth is criticized, always going to be heavily criticized. Not the possession of wealth, but with financial security, stress dwindles, and we can afford quality of life choices that foster happiness. So, I'm sorry. So, with financial security, all right, the stress like will go away. You know what I mean? when we could afford things that actually gives us quality life and well-being. To me, that's where I feel like people who are wealthy will be at their happiest. But again, you know, um, when you're out there chasing money for the wrong reasons, I think that's where you kind of lose yourself. Okay. Overall, my point is money can be a game changer for most people. In my opinion, it will bring financial freedom, erase the stress from debt, okay, and it will enrich certain relationships. Or it could be a detriment to certain relationships. But the ability to travel, enjoy passive income, can actually make and also make healthier life choices because you have the resources. Again, use when you're using money as a tool, and you just negate that, the things that gives you overall quality, well-being, and happiness, that's what's going to make people have a healthier mindset. But again, you know, people may think otherwise. I do have some questions I want to pose, but I'm going to open a link for everybody to come up. So feel free to come up if you agree or if you disagree. I'm not
Hmm.
going to my questions, but go ahead, Mr. Best.
I would say also too, like, um, is have an understanding of the things that are around you. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, people want to live comfortably, but in living comfortably or having different things or having different resources or having things around you, we got to understand that if we, and this is something that I'm trying to work on really, 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 really big myself, and I want to start doing more stuff myself, is I really want to start trying to impact and help, the community as far as maybe serving in the food kitchen, maybe donating to certain causes, maybe doing certain things so that, people are not out here doing heinous stuff because they don't have the financial stability that they need. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that it's kind of like because when people are not financially secure, they're not stable, they're gonna impact the community around you, right? So even
Mm-hmm.
if you live in a nice community, right? You live in a nice community, you kind of live on the outskirts of the bad neighborhoods or whatever, and you live in nice, right? But man, I drive 10 minutes away, and it's crazy over here, man. I'm just trying to get something to eat. I'm just trying to go grocery shopping, or man, I just want to go to the movies with my family, and man, we can't even go to like the movie theater that's like 10 miles away or 20 miles away, even though it's nice or it's maybe cool, but man, people over here are looting and shooting and acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have the financial means in order to make sure that everybody around them is taken care of. So of course they're gonna eat like it's like an animal, right? If an animal gonna eat regardless, like and they're not thinking about they're not thinking about like if you get mad, they're not thinking about how you feel. If there's a wild animal, a bear or a lion or whatever, and they ain't eating a couple days and they see you with set up with a picnic or whatever, they coming over that picnic and they gonna tear it up. You know what I mean? And so when people are left to basically be animalistic, you know what I mean, based on survival or based on them not having the means to feed themselves or the means to even provide for themselves, they're going to become animalistic. So they're going to be breaking into people's cars. They're going to be doing certain things. The breaking into people's cars out here in the, out here where we live at, man, in the Bay Area, in the greater Bay Area, you know what I mean, and Silicon Valley and the other places as well, you know what I mean, other places throughout this area, you know what I mean, Sacramento and all that. The cars getting broken into is crazy. Mm. People cars are getting broken into left and right because people are not people are going to find a way to feed themselves. They're going to find a way to make some money, even if it's at someone's expense. And the sad part about it is that I think a lot of times people get angry, like, oh man, these people are trash or they bums or this and the third. But if you think about it, like, man, if I was in their shoes or if I had to deal with some of the circumstances they had to deal with, would I still be as rational or would I be animalistic? And we got to be honest with ourselves. If push came to shove and we couldn't eat or something happened and we couldn't do certain things, hey, we may be as bad as those people, if not worse. Like we may resort to some heinous things, and that's just life because people are gonna eat, man. Like just like the animals are gonna eat, people are gonna eat. Like that's never you ain't gonna stop them from eating. So either you could be a benefactor in helping your overall community and maybe trying to shape things, or as things get out of control and you seeing people run up in cars and run up on people, you're like, damn, why is all this happening? Why is my community changing? Well, look, man, because there's certain people in the community who don't have opportunities, or there's certain people in the community that don't have ways to feed themselves. Now, of course, right? Of course, we know that yes, there's some people who just do crime just for the sake of doing crime to be cool or to fit in or whatever. But a lot of times people are doing these heinous things a lot of times too because they don't have any other means. They don't have nothing else around them. You get a lot of that, going around in certain neighborhoods. Man, I wanted to do certain things. I wanted to be an athlete, or I wanted to get into politics, or I wanted to get into this, but I had no other choice. And the street life was all I had, so I had to do what I had to do in order to survive. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, salute to 100 Watts, man. Watts is good, man. Definitely glad you're up here, man. Share your point of view. Or if M3, you got a question for him, man, let's rock out.
Mute Master.
Dog.
What up, Watts?
What's up, fellas? What's up, fellas? Good evening. How's it going?
What's going on?
Doing good, man. Good to see you up in here. Watts, I do
Shit,
got
man.
a couple of questions like for you, but before I even ask like those questions, where did you get from the whole topic? I know you was up here for like a minute.
Yeah. And just in listening to y'all, I think like, money is not the root of all evil, and money don't buy happiness and all that. But I think a lot of people get these resources and forget to invest in themselves. They're so worried about investing in businesses and shit like that they don't invest in finding new ways to find peace. It's all about buying jewelry and cars and shit, but you're not taking time to find out, okay, are there countries I want to visit? Does it bring me a certain level of peace? Is it, can I start meditating, doing yoga? I don't fucking know. Just finding something that provides you peace without having to chemically imbalance your body, I guess you could say. Like that, I do think that'd be the one part where people get mixed up at. That materialistic shit is the reason why so many people think that money is evil.
That's a good point. I like that.
But what do I know?
Hey, salute to Mr. Johnson. You know what I mean? I'm glad you pulled up, OG. You know what I mean? Salute. What's your perspective, man? Share your thoughts.
Salute. Y'all can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, because, I'm in the street. So thank you for allowing me to join and interject in dialogue here. What we always have to make a point to understand is that when we're in a capitalist society and when we have been conditioned, right, to believe that the more you have, the better you are, you're always going to have a population that is not serviced with the basic needs for survival. However, most crimes, and I'm speaking from someone who was never destitute and hungry, but got into the criminal lifestyle based upon the idea of stealing from the rich, pushing the limits to see, just how effective and how strong the wealthy were, and to kind of gauge myself into seeing whether or not these uber capitalists were willing to risk it all for their perceived wealth or finances. I know for absolute fact that poverty does not always encourage one to throw a brick. If you could get what I'm saying, I've witnessed, and I'm talking about somebody who will be 55 years old in a few weeks. I've witnessed people live in utter poverty for decades, living on the system, not knowing whether they're going to have enough food, literally food, not knowing if their rent was going to be paid, going without, cable TV and just the basics. I've watched generations go through that, and never ever crime has entered into that family dynamic. So when we're looking at what we perceive as income, as wealth, as money, as disposable amounts of cash, we have to make sure that we take into account each individual and each group's lens when it comes to the idea of being able to exchange, with the idea of being able to sustain themselves within this system. Some people don't have that drive to acquire more and are okay with dealing in their basic necessities, right? You have others who will never have enough no matter how much they have. Our people have a very, very contemptuous relationship when it comes to economics, because here in this corporation, we were always reduced to the labor. Always. So we never really owned ourselves or our labor, or were able to set the price. So we're always going to come into conflict when we have discussions about the economy, when we have the discussions about money, because we all come from a different lens. And we're going to always continue to have these arguments where it's going to be difficult to agree, because, again, some of us were born with a little bit more. Some of us was born with a little bit less. Some chose the route to go through higher education or nepotism to get in certain positions. And then we have those of us who have found ways to sustain ourselves outside of the system. And then when you incorporate different phenomena such as entertainment, sports, and things that are such that can bypass and leap, give you a head start above or even up out of your impoverished conditions, everybody is going to place their very solid opinion upon which they were able to navigate this space. So it's very, 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 we have to be very clear when we're speaking on economics. And then we're not taking into account that whatever we come up with, we're still up under the system of which that we don't control. At any given time, they can switch gears. And this is what they do because, again, they created this system. They created these layers and this matrix based on economics that they really themselves don't even follow. You dig? So when we incorporate that crime element into it, I can tell you, man, me and I know several of dozens of my crime partners that came from two-parent households, two-parent professional households, and because of our environment and the influences that we had coming up around us, we decided to go into the streets. So we have to be clear and have to have a large amount of individuals with different perspectives, experiences, and outcomes when we having these discussions.
I think that's that part is interesting. That's a whole conversation within itself. But I need you to do something for me. There was a word you used. Would you, if you wouldn't mind defining it for me? I think you said contemptuous. How do you pronounce that right? Contemptuous.
Contemptuous, right?
Contemptuous. Could you define that for me?
Contemptuous is where you're viewing something with contempt, with suspicion and animosity when
Oh,
it
see, I
comes to
see the
something,
basement. Okay, okay. Contemptuous. Okay, I
right?
can see that
And a
now.
lot of us have that type of relationship when it comes to money and finances, right? There's some of us who may hoard it just to hoard it. There's some of us who are frivolous with it. There's some of us who would like to show off. There's some of us who would never want anybody to know that we do have that. And in those spaces, whatever you believe and however you manifest when it comes to economics, when it comes to bartering, that is what you're going to lead with. And then when you lead with that, you also, by example and default, teach and educate those behind you, whether they be family or whether they be others under your tutelage or under your leadership, under your custody. We are all examples of that, right? I'm an example of a two-parent household where both individuals were accumulating large sums of money and never were the greatest in saving, right? It wasn't that they squandered it, it just wasn't something where they chose to invest, where they chose to put anything aside, because they never was in a space where they felt that they had to prepare for 10 years down the line and things like that. If you are of a certain generation, you have to recall that we thought come year 2000 that this shit was going to be over and done with. You understand what I'm saying? So, there
So,
was
if
a. Mhm.
in listening to what you're saying, are you help me? Maybe maybe I'm not clear, but are you saying that people's understanding and how they choose to show their money, right? So you talked about jewels, or how people show their stuff. Are you speaking that way because you believe there is a right way to play the game, or are you saying that because people just choose to play the game differently?
Well, I'm saying, for me, I don't necessarily believe in the game. I know that the game is in real time, but I also know that at any given time, should you stick into this game of finances, until this game, especially here in this corporation, where we have very limited understandings because we are not giving the true meaning behind their laws, code, contracts. You understand what I'm saying? There's a very different language when a black person enters the room. Make no bones about it. There's a very different language, and no matter how wealthy an individual of us becomes, you always notice that that is only the individual. You don't have large amounts of groups of wealthy black people acquiring more wealth, more resources, and more land. You have individuals in small pockets. It's a
So,
very different language. You understand? And your language that you receive is only based upon the European that keeps you in that loop.
so how do you argue with certain individuals that will contest to that and say it's not the Europeans that's keep us in the loop, it's we as our own people that's keep us in our loop? How do you contest to that?
In what loop? In what loop? When you're talking about wealth, the
Mm-hmm.
Europeans allow that. They allow that. I've not seen anybody of our
Wait,
ilk, of
wait,
our
hold
ilk
on.
own. Give me, hold on now.
Hmm?
I'm answering your question.
No, 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 not you. I'm talking about the person that's in the backstage. I can't see his face, so I got him in the backstage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to ownership, when it comes to uh uh like I said, ownership in any industry, we are allowed into those rooms. We are allowed into those rooms. We have no ownership of any industry in this corporation as a collective, and very few as an individual. So you are being allowed into those spaces.
I guess too.
So it's not our loop. It's not us in the loop.
Mhm.
We're being allowed into their economic system.
Okay.
Because we don't have equal rights. We have civil rights. So
Well-
they're still with us. We're not equal with them. We don't ever have equal footing with them. We're not looked at as pawn as equals. And I understand Mr. Johnson is talking about as far as having a 2-parent home and still choosing a certain lifestyle no matter what. Because a lot of my uncles and my dads and all that who are from his generation was like that as well. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand that. My dad and all that and my uncles, they came from 2-parent homes. I really didn't. You know what I mean? And, because of different things that was going on with them. So, yeah, like, I understand what you're talking about. I understand the generation. You know what I mean? Salute to Simon. I see you here as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Everybody rock out.
Yeah. Okay. Now, but like I said, I just had to ask that question because I hear that a lot. Like a lot of these people, like especially like our own people, will say, "Oh, we're the ones that's acting like victims," or "We're the ones that's blaming other groups." But and then they'll try to add on and say, "We are the only ones that is lazy," and that's something I usually totally disagree on. It's just that some people are privileged, right, to actually get that handout, to actually get that start. Again, with the economic stuff, we don't have economical power. So, of course, a lot of people like us got to work a little bit harder to even get some kind of power, but yet still, power is still given to us. It's not something that was inherent. But
And
People
you can go further. I don't want to cut your wisdom. You can go further with that.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You can go further with that. You can have wealth in this space. An individual can have wealth, right? We witnessed over the past year this thrusting of Byron Allen in our face, right? No doubt about it, he is wealthy. We're not going to debate that. No doubt about it, he has a certain ownership over his labor over the couple of few decades. But anytime he made an attempt to purchase, right? Listen to what they're saying, to purchase, to take the wealth that he has acquired and exchange it for another space that he didn't own, that somebody else owned or some other groups own, more than likely Europeans or Asians or whoever he is trying to acquire it from. It is not allowed. It has not been allowed.
What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? Allowed?
Hello, you still talking?
Allowed.
Ignore him. Don't worry about him.
Allowed. What is it? What is he don't understand? The man wanted BET, right? They got to go to a board. They have to present a proposal. That is being allowed. You understand? If he could have did it, why didn't he just go into it like we go into a bodega and buy a bag of chips? We own that, right? You buy the bag of chips, you own it, you ate it. That's your money. He has his money. He wanted a network. Why? After showing and proving that he had the income to get it, he didn't get it because he wasn't allowed to purchase it. I don't understand. What do you mean we're allowed? There are boards, there are sanctions, there are things that the government and other private entities did not allow him to do.
So it's like a sense of like redlining, correct?
Redlining.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's corporate redlining. So what's the problem? You don't understand that?
No, well, before I even dive into like what he's talking about, because sometimes you got some people, they're gonna try to throw a curveball, or you got some people, right, that legitimately just doesn't really understand about economics and like the power of wealth and what blacks in America is going through. Simon's from the UK, so if he asks like those type of questions, you gotta excuse him for that. But I'm gonna make this clear to anybody that does come on the panel. When someone's talking, one, you don't interrupt, and two, don't be rude to the guests, because my tolerance is very low with that, and I will like escort you out without reasoning. So, but let me get to Marcus's question. He says, "Do you believe humans overall should have the type of power, but when it comes to wealthy, what's the saying? You gotta pay the toll to the troll, because in case if you want to cross the bridge, So he said you gotta pay the toll to the troll in case you want to cross the bridge. I haven't heard that saying in a minute, to be honest with you. Anybody want to respond to that?
He took it back with that one.
I know.
he took it way back with that one. I mean, listen, I think barter systems or economics have been a part of what we're doing forever, right? That's always been a part of like life. But I think, what I'm saying, it's just basically now and then. I think the problem with as far as our people when it comes to just the capital is the fact that like we have like different things in place that can kind of hinder us, whether it's redlining, whether it's different systematic things that are done to us. Like I said, there's people who have money for loans and then they're like, yo, I got the money, my credit is good, everything cool. Can I get a loan? It's like, nah, you can't get the loan. But why not? Like, I have all the financial increments for this. I have references. I have the credit. I have the collateral for it. I even have other things that I can use. As a reference point for you to give me the loan. So why am I being denied? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, well, we just decided not to deny you. We can do whatever we want with our loan and with our money. Know what I mean? And then it becomes then you start feeling that awkwardness. You know that awkwardness that you feel when you go into a certain community, you get a certain restaurant, and everybody looking at you like you crazy. You're like, damn, like, yo, like, why are you looking at me like this? Like, I'm dressed nice, I got a suit on, I'm you know what I mean, I got my hair cut, I'm smelling good, all I got cologne on, my shoes is clean, everything. I'm flawless, nails cut, everything. I'm flawless right now. Like I'm clean. You know what I'm saying? I done pulled up in a nice car, everything. You know what I mean? Valet parking, everything, man. I done tipped the valet. There's nothing that I'm missing, right? But still, y'all looking at me funny. Why? Why am I getting the funny looks now? You know what I'm saying? Because we always know that it's that line. We know it's that invisible line, man. We know that, all right, cool. I'm going to go to the store in a nicer community, but, yo, they're going to be looking at me like I'm crazy. No matter what I'm doing, I could be wearing a 3-piece suit. I could be wearing just a T-shirt. You know what I mean? Like M3 or like Watts. I could just be, in some comfortable gear. It doesn't matter what I got on. They still gonna treat me like I'm different. Doesn't matter how much money I give them. It don't matter my sense of decorum and what language I use or what language I don't use. I'm gonna still be treated like I'm less than. You know what I mean? And I'm not. There's certain times I'm not gonna be allowed to do certain things based on the color of my skin, unfortunately. Salute to Cindy 007.
Cindy?
But yeah.
Salute to Marcus, man. Yeah, and that's the one thing that money. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Bishop, we're still talking?
Nah, just give a shout out to Marcus. That's it.
Oh, okay. And well, that's one that I will agree to you like wholeheartedly on this one. That's one thing that money cannot change. People's perspectives of you, no matter what. It's not going to make people less racist. It's not going to make people less prejudiced. Now, the only thing that I will say, if people know you have a certain amount of money, especially if you have what to offer, what it does is it just opens up a pathway of people to use you. and that's something that you have to also take account of. Would you rather be in a position where you have a lot of money, but then you have a lot of fake friends, or will you rather be in a position whereas you're poor, but everyone around you loves you? What do you think, Watts?
I think that I was listening to Mr. Best and he was talking about, you show up to these restaurants and you did everything right. I tipped them. I look good. My car's nice. You did everything right, but they're still looking at you crazy. That's because we're still playing their game. It should just look different for us. When we up, it sometimes it just look different, right? I think that if our people, us as a people, if we had a better control of the shit that was around us, it would look different. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the standard would necessarily be buying a private jet, driving a Maserati type shit like that. Like if it really would, like, if imagine if your grandparents were millionaires. Like if my grandmother was a millionaire, she would have had all her grandkids in this one big ass mansion. It would have been about taking care of the family. It would have been about growing and teaching the kid. Like if my grandmother had it,
Mm-hmm.
it would look different. You know what I'm saying? The people who we loved that were supposed to be teaching us, if they were the ones that had the advantage rather than our
Yeah,
counterparts,
possibly.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It would just look different. And sometimes we do shit to try and play their game, and then it looks different on us, because then that's when you get rappers with $250,000 chains on, because they're trying to play their game. They're trying to do some shit to impress people because they're trying to play into that system. That's like what you talking about, like somebody being poor and still having, yo, imagine imagine you live in the hood, you're surviving off of $28,000 a year, but your neighbors love you. The lady downstairs watch your kids for you when you at work. The
Mm-hmm.
dude that live across the street, he'll take your dog for a walk. Like imagine you don't got no fucking money. You, bro, every time you get paid, that shit gone. But everybody around you loves you. That sound better to me. Because then the alternative is what? Being a millionaire, you in a 14-bedroom house with 17 bathrooms, and the only time you get company is when you paying for hoes. Like that, okay, you got money. What does
Yeah.
that mean now?
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
watch, you hit it right on the nail, dog. Like the neighborhood heroes, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Come
You know,
on, dog.
you got the homie, you got the homie Big Jerome down the block. You know what I mean? He the neighborhood hero. Everybody know Jerome. You know what I'm saying? He drive the red BMW. You know what I'm saying? He don't make much money. You know what I mean? He worked for the bread truck company. You know what I'm saying? But he a hood hero. Everybody know him in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And everybody respect him and love him.
Mm.
I can appreciate that shit because I've definitely been in points in my life where I've been down bad. Um, one neighborhood, for example, I'm living in a neighborhood in Virginia, and I'm around people that have decent jobs. They got decent jobs, right? Most of these guys just got out the military. They got government jobs. They're living on salaries and stuff like that. These are the type of dudes that like linking up at cigar bars and shit. They don't go out to clubs. They link up at cigar bars and shit. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
got a different kind of thinking. They know I don't got it because I'm working in the fucking kitchen. I'm working 2 jobs right now. I'm broke as fuck. They know what my situation is. But every time I'm around them, the conversations that we have, the way that they see me interact with other people, the way that I go out of my way to help the old lady get across the street carrying groceries, like they see how I interact in the world and how I talk to them and all that other kind of shit. Every now and then they'll come knock on the door. Hey bro, you trying to come fuck with us? Man, I would, bro. I don't even got it like that for it. Man, don't worry about that shit. It's on us. You good. Just come kick it with us. That's cause the way that I'm moving and interacting with people is not about what they're gonna get, how much money they can put in my pocket, or what kind of car they drive, or what kind of car I'm driving, or it's not about none of that shit. It's about that personal interaction, that allowing what you put into my pocket that affects how is it that I'm trying to, because it makes sense in my brain. If you allow what people put into your pocket to affect the way that you interact with them, you're gonna have shitty interactions your whole life, your whole fucking life. Hey,
Salute
Six.
Six Boss.
Salute to Six Boss. What up? What up? What up? Yo, watch you. Yo, you close to how close you to Norfolk?
To Norfolk, where I'm from, probably like shit. That's probably like a 45-minute ride. But I live in Texas now. But my hometown, that's probably like 45 minutes away.
Oh damn! Oh yeah, you are in Texas now. Damn. All right. Hey, when I hit VA again, because I got one of my folks, like a few of my folks, stay out there. You know what I mean? A few of my folks and my uncles and also and all that stay out there. So I got, I'm gonna hit VA real hard, man. Salute the VA. I got to hit up there real quick for real. But yeah, man, it's good to have that. Like you said, that strong neighborhood, man. That strong neighborhood is what makes, you know what I'm saying, it makes you feel like life isn't as bad as it is. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you feel humane. It makes you feel like you're a part of something. It makes you feel like, man, you know what? Hey, you know what I'm saying? There are people here that really care about me, and I actually am going to make something out of this, and you know what I mean? I'm going to be able to get out of this situation. It gives you hope, you know what I'm saying? And it gives you a sense of love and community.
See, but even with that, outside of the extremes, outside of a story where you tell me that some kid became an orphan at the age of 3 and bounced around from foster house to foster house and then had this thing happen to, like, outside of the extreme stories, the normal everyday stories, one parent, 2 parents, whatever, right? If we talk about the everyday story, what makes a bad life? What is considered a bad life? What, because you didn't make enough money, or because you didn't live in the house that you wanted to, or you didn't have enough kids, or like what makes a bad life? And most of the time, it's based on somebody else's fucking standard. It's based on some other shit that somebody else told you that you needed to have. Oh, well, by the time, like people tell women, oh, by the time you turn 30, if you ain't married, you're gonna be single and alone for the rest of your life. Now she got a bad life because she building an expectation on what somebody else said. Some other dumb shit. I can't. My life is not bad. I'm sure that if I was to sit here and tell stories about my life and the shit that I've been through, there would be points where it was kind of low, but I ain't gonna never say I had a bad life. I done been through some shit, my dog, but I ain't gonna never say I had a bad life, because I know what I'm looking for in mine. I know the relationships I built. I know that, you know what I'm saying, knock on wood, when the good Lord called me and it's my time to slide, those people that show up, they gonna say good things. You know what I'm saying? They gonna say good things about me. Not all of them. Some of them got some stories about how I pissed them off, because that's the nature of life. But overall, they gonna have good things to say about me, and that's really all I can think about. Would I like to live in a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house with a big ass backyard and 4 cars in the front? Sure, cool. That'd be nice, but I ain't gonna say my life was bad because I didn't get that. So when you say having a good life or a bad life, it's just like what dictates that? Who is dictating that? Are you dictating that, or is the motherfuckers around you dictating that shit? Because the outcome is completely different based on your perspective.
Right. Salutes to the people from the Twitch gang. Thank you for tuning in as well. Six Boss, definitely good. Always good to see you here. So good evening to you guys. We are having a conversation about money. Okay. And if you guys want to, I'm Cindy on YouTube. Well, hey, still good evening to you anyways on the Twitch side, I'm glad that you tune into both YouTube and Twitch.
Oh, that's Cindy 007. Okay.
Oh, that makes sense. Cindy, I like the wordplay. I get it. Now it's me. I get it. Look, if anybody else want to come up, I'll definitely send a link to you, because here's my thing. Money is the source of happiness. There, I said it. You know what I mean? Some people are going to disagree on it. If you disagree, hey, feel free to pop in and disagree on it. Or if you agree, feel free to pop in and agree to it. Six Boss says, I will in 10 minutes. Okay. So in 10 minutes and counting, the lovely Six Boss will grace us with her presence. Okay, from the Twitch side. Also, please Make sure y'all follow 100 Watts on Twitch. And well, most of the time you be on Twitch now these days, Watts, huh? So follow him on both platforms, YouTube and Twitch. He definitely be dribbling on the NBA.
I ain't gonna say it because this is your platform, but me and YouTube, we got, you know what I'm saying, beef.
You got some. I get it.
Man,
And everybody, please follow. Excuse me, Six Boss here on Twitch as well too. She's a lovely, dope streamer, and she's very creative with the graphics. I'm glad that you're here because when you do come up, I do have to ask you a personal question on how you just get your graphics up there. Some people they use, I think, OBS or some other program. I'm not really for sure, but she's definitely tech savvy.
she's been adamant about saying she loves OBS. She says it all the time. She loves OBS.
Yo, what's up? Marcus, what's going on? Watch, man. Hey, that show that you wanted me to do, Saturday, we up, boy. You know what I mean? 5 o'clock my time, I think 7 your time. So, you know what I mean? We on. I'm doing the when I ask for help, John. I told you I was gonna do it first show popping for when I come back and let's get it. I'm there.
Okay. Morgan, man, great to see you. I'm glad you're up here, man. Long time no see.
Likewise.
Yeah. How you been? How you been, my brother?
No, man, I've been good. How about you guys?
We've been cool, man. Like, just tapping in, man. Like first day of season 3. After like a long break.
Right, y'all had a break for a while, huh?
Hold on. Hey, you in your junior year, dog. Junior Marcus, let's go.
I know. One more sophomore,
right.
one more freshman, junior class going into senior class. All right, graduation album, like that other artist used to say on his albums, man.
Right. Look at Marcus graduating.
You don't even say his name no more. You don't even say his
my
name.
bad. I don't know. Hey, are we allowed to? Because I know it's one of those sensitive things on YouTube. I can't even tell no more. I can't even tell what we got to say or can't say no more.
You say yay, man. Anybody gonna say nothing what you were saying about talking about yay, dog.
Mr. Sir, yay.
Yeah, as long as you don't mention Triple K, if you know what I mean. As long as you don't mention the GUN, the Blinky, and all that stuff, and as long as you're very descriptive to say, "Hey, what I'm saying is for educational purposes only," YouTube probably won't have a problem with it.
Do you understand how crazy that sounds? Like, this is getting ridiculous. This is getting completely fucking ridiculous. But that's just me.
I agree. I concur.
Only with the algorithm and with the advertisements as well too. But I digress. Hey, we cool YouTube. Hopefully.
I mean, but it fits into what you're talking about, though. Like the hoops that people jump through to get money. Like the way people would censor themselves to get the money. Like this shit is fucking crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. YouTube. Look, YT will try to censor us all the time, man. So, hold on. Where's my angel bros? We gotta make sure that we conduct ourselves as sweet angels around here. Because here, like on the YouTube streets, and you're dealing with someone else's platform that doesn't originally belong to you, you gotta make sure that you keep it G. Well, PG. Go ahead, Marcus, and we have to
Man, I got all my boys popping up, man. What's going on? That's what I'm talking about.
Back into
No, go ahead. Go finish that line. Finish that lyric, my friend.
No, I was doing the hoop to you so you could finish it, Marcus. Come on, man.
Oh, my bad, man. My lungs are. I'm not bueno right now. I'm just recovering from a sickness. So you got it, bro. Anything you got demonetized or monetized, feel free, my friend. Get that voice or the America's Got Talent. That's all you.
Hey, unfortunately, I can't reach that high, man.
What you mean? You got the shades on. Put the shades, baby bash.
Speaking of the shades, right? I get ignorant when I be like putting this on, right? But anyways, YouTube is full of nonsense, but freedom of speech is censored. Yes, you're goddamn right. It is heavily censored. Because, again, if you want the dollars, you got to play onto their rules. You got to play onto their court, until you have the power to actually control like your own realm, there's nothing you could do.
That's
Okay.
why I like the motherfucker like Joe Budden.
Joe Budden, the podcaster.
Yes, that's why I like somebody like Joe Budden. Because whether you agree with what he says or you disagree with what he says, a lot of it is based around what you. What it just don't make sense to me, dog. It don't make sense to me. The money being so important that you are willing to censor yourself to a level where you allow someone to tell you what you can and can't say just because you're trying to get the bag. I'm not saying that you need to go through life and just intentionally break all the rules and just go against everything that everybody's saying, but like, at what point do people, especially content creators, because we like absorbing content. That's just the way the world works now, right? And as content creators, when does the point come for us to say, all right, this is some bullshit, bro. You're gonna have to pull some of this back. Like, at what point does that happen? Because
But it's
the
called
money,
Rumble.
all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Because because even with that, like, what does the breakdown look like? There's a small percentage of people that make all of the money from this one fucking platform.
That's a fact. Man, salute to my dog, Jay Takashi J. I know I owe you a call, brother. I know I've been busy with family stuff, man. Sorry I haven't hit you up, but definitely, I checked in with you when you was live the last time, man. But salute to you, man. Marcus, I know you're about to say something, then we get to Jay, but go ahead, Marcus.
No, because I know the topic was like, about money and about wealth and stuff. And I think, well, you said on your damn, I forgot the terms of what it's called on your
My monologue, my introduction speech.
yeah, like the whole money is happiness thing.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
the banner. I'm gonna say the banner. All right.
All right, the banter. All right.
The banner. I'll say the banner, not banter. But I think with money, I think the thing is, before you get to that stage of happiness, I don't think it's so much as happiness as much as it is security enough to where you can breathe and it can be okay to be like, all right, we got enough money so where we can relax and we don't have to worry about living day to day, week to week, check to check. Because I know myself, especially when I was younger, that was kind of like the mind state I kind of had where, and I still kind of carry it to this day with the money I make now. I'm not gonna say how much because none of y'all do my taxes, so that's between me and Uncle Sam. All right, respectfully, disgustingly, but I think that's the mindset though. For me, it's not so much it makes me happy; it just makes me feel like I can breathe and relax, and it's like, and even then, who knows? Because like the state that we live in, like anybody who knows, especially in the West Coast and Cali. They don't really play around when it comes to like taxes and spending and subsidizing and just like the gas and stuff like that. So it's just crazy right now. And other expenses along the way. Then you got to make sure you have certain tax write-offs, make sure there's certain tangible assets, make sure you have good legitimate assets, make sure you go to the bank and talk to an FA, talk to that financial advisor. You hope they're not going to charge you just to talk to them. You hope the first meetings are free. You hope whatever it is, whether it's a checkings account or something like that, when you go talk to that FA, you schedule either it's Monday through Friday or if it's based upon appointment. You got to make sure you go, hey, can I go to a credit union? What about trust? One of those trust fund banks. I'm talking about the banks that make more money than the regular banks, not just your commercial banks. Hopefully they can help you out with the loan. Talk about this mortgage, about the Fair Housing Act. You want to get a mortgage loan. Then you're worried about, hey, is it going to affect my credit score? How much is it going to set me back? Then you have people with student school loans and debt. Then they have that issue themselves. Then you have all these, car financing. You got to make sure you take it into account. Hey, is it liability or is it full coverage? In certain places, they even say, certain lawyers say, full coverage is actually more of a scam. It's not actually, it's just the term itself. That's what makes it sound more polishable. But, things like that, people need to take into account, and money is money. And like I said before in the chat, unfortunately, that's kind of how it works. And I think that's overall been the basis of America when it came down to being capitalistic. It's just, you got to pay the toll across the bridge. And you know that's why it's called taxes. That's why it's called certain like gutting you down, whether it's child support, whether it's spouse support, whether you're paying the rent to the land, whatever it is. You know, that's how it's gonna be. You know, and I just don't know.
Right. Before I get to Jay Takashi, one, I gotta salute to like Vic. Thank you for tuning in, Vic. Also salutes to like Master Duck. Always good to see you, man, and the happy punks as well too, and good jokes. So salutes to you guys, man. Man, like we got the old timers, man, like the old folks up in here. So, anyways, man. Oh, send the link. Definitely, I'm gonna definitely send the link right now again. I got you, Six Boss. All right, Jay, man, what's your thoughts about money? I mean, I don't know, like if you got a chance to tune into the beginning, but basically, to keep it short, money is the source of all happiness. What you think about that?
Okay, two comments in that regard. So, money can get you to certain things that you want to get, but it's momentary. It's not forever. Let's just keep it a buck. And I know that sounds like Jay. That sounds very PC. What you just said. I'm like, not really. Here's the reason why. It can get me to take my kids to freaking either Walt Disney. That's momentary, but at the same time, what's going to matter most is the experiences you have outside of money. Because, like I said, that can get you. Like I said, money is a start to either your own business, like which I'm building right now currently, and it can, like I said, it can end some things that are important to your everyday daily life or things you build a future for, but it cannot buy happiness. And there's a song Neo and Jay-Z did, only things money can buy, pardon my French, things of that nature. And I agree with the lyrics of that song because I was like, that's exactly what I've said. It's temporary. For me, it's just, I'm gonna be real, and most cats gonna try to come after me to say this, but sex is very momentary. That's what that is to me. Momentary. Doesn't last forever. That was just a thing to get me to feel good for like about an hour. And then 3 hours later that shit wore off. That's how it is. Right there. And that's what money is for. If, like I said, feels to use it, to save it, for momentary things of happiness and maybe by building, but at the same time, it doesn't put a smile on your face, particularly. So, like I said, I can, and I think Watts maybe can attest to this because I think I told him in one of my streams, like I think what you did 4 weeks ago. I said, money will allow me to do things I want to do, but guess what? I can put a smile on my face, motherfucker. I'm just making the money. That's all it is. It's all business grind at that point. Now, I think I appreciated more that I did the hard work to get it because I think I take pride in achievement because I know I actually did hard work. I didn't cheat. I got here on my own merit, and I built myself up. So yeah, that feels good, and that's momentary. That is somewhat of a feel good system, but like I said, it's momentary, and I don't think Buddy will buy your roof personally. That's
Can
for
I
like
comment?
all like.
Can I comment on what he's saying after?
Hold on, we have Vic, and then we also have Six Boss. So just be patient and wait, Simon.
Okay, but no, I don't think money's the sort of happiness. I think that's a bunch of bullshit. Personally, it like I said, it ain't making
Yo, the phone be live.
or most people happy. If it was, they would be content. And no one's ever content. None of you are. You're all human. So that's my answer to that. Hey, listen, it's good for that trip in Cancun. Remember I told you.
Can I respond to this dude?
Hold on, Simon. Whatever you have, write it down, right? Because I gotta get to Vic and I gotta get to Six Boss. We'll get right back to you, okay? Save all that pent up energy, all right? Okay. Vic, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, fellas?
Nothing much, man. You know, how does it feel, man, for like, when money
what
comes?
up, baby?
What up?
what do you think about like when money comes into the play, right, into like one's life? Do you believe money is the source of happiness? Do you believe that the people that tells you that, oh man, money is the root of all evil, do you think that's bullshit? Or do you think that, hey, maybe they're right in some degree? But what's your thoughts?
Well, that is a direct Bible quote, which is the love of money is the root of all evil. So it also say money answers all things. So at the end of the day, um, purpose is what brings happiness in general, a sense of accomplishment or a sense of directive, and um, it's just like, you know, when you get that notification in your inbox and it's like you have to. It's almost OCD about people needing small victories. Um, However, money is a means. Like the world could operate perfectly without money. However, there would be a new form of money, which is skills or resources. And those are what allow people to fulfill purpose, which brings happiness. But without the world the way it's built, you can't acquire any of those things without money. So money is the middleman or the barrier in between you and your purpose, which is your happiness.
Hmm.
If you can possibly fulfill your purpose without any money, then shout out to you for being whoever you are. But my shit ain't designed that way. The way my account is set up, okay, I'm gonna need a little bit of that.
Okay. I like that. Six Bars, good evening.
What's
How are you?
good?
Nothing much. Good to see you up here again. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired. I'm working. I'm opening a new business, so I'm busy all the time. But I still make
Nice.
time for Twitch. I love Twitch.
Shout outs. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's impressive. So congratulations on getting your new business like started and trying to get it open.
Thank you.
So okay.
I do have an opinion. So I've been listening to all the mans and their opinions, and I think it's just Vic that was just talking. I agree with him because we did an episode on my show one time specifically about Black men's mental health and where a lot of that comes from. And what we discovered was basically it's not even just with Black men, but it is a little bit significantly higher, noticeably in them, because when your money as a man isn't right, specifically as a man, that's where a lot of depression comes from, or a lot of not having self-worth or being able to believe that you can move forward in life comes from. You don't feel like you can provide for your family or even just for yourself, even if you don't have kids as a man. You're not going to be interested. For example, there's a lot of men that I've talked to in just dating where their focus is so much into their work right now, not that they're workaholics, but because they're trying to do shit. And without being able to get to a certain point financially, they're not going to be able to concentrate on anything else. And that's been proven. It's just like when a man, simply put, when a man's money isn't right, he's not going to be focused on anything else. And the last thing on his mind is going to be girls and sex. And just going to like sort of the dating side of that, what women don't understand is that there's nothing that you're going to be able to do for him until he feels like he's right. And that's where a lot of the criticism comes in, or the I ain't got time for this, or I don't think I could stand by your side while you do this. Like, you go do you and we'll catch up later, whatever the case is. Like, there's not enough support from the women or the Black men community in regards to them standing behind what men themselves need to do today to become financially secure, to be able to have those relationships or that type of communication or commitment or comfort moving forward into something intimate with somebody in the future. Never mind the life that they already have. So there's a lot of pressure when you don't. I agree with just Vic. Like, you can say that money isn't happiness and you can't buy this and you can't buy that without love and all bullshit. But it's just bullshit, because if you take the year that we live in, 2023, this isn't 100 years ago when shit was different.
So
Even when
you,
I was,
all right. So you can't say that.
Wait, hold on. I don't think she was finished, Simon.
I'm
Sorry.
just saying, if you look at today's society, it's completely different. We live in a world where you ain't got no money. You can't even buy real food. The food that most people can afford right now is all fake. It's all filled with chemicals. It's literally deteriorating our bodies. But a lot of people can only afford sometimes $100 a fucking month on groceries. That can't even fucking buy shit, as far as I'm concerned. But that's how some people's lives are. So in going back to what Just Vic said, you ain't got money, you can't fucking live. Where the fuck is your happiness going to come from? Because consistently you're going to be thinking about, I'm stressed because I might not have a place to stay at the end of the month. I might not be able to put food on the table for my kids. I might not be able to afford to fucking get to work to make money at some point. Like, some people are in that scenario at this moment. And it's a real thing. As far as
if I can't talk on this platform, I'm a bounce. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, if
I
you
was try- I
can't
was
wait,
trying to-
then- okay. So again, if you can't wait, and while somebody else is talking, then get up out of here. Don't hesitate. Again, this is for anyone. When somebody else is talking, be patient and wait. When I tell you to wait, wait. If you don't want to wait, get the hell out. Sorry, Six Boss. I ain't gonna let nobody disrespect you now.
No, you good. You guys are good. Go ahead. I'm good. I'm done.
But I do agree to this part, right? Because one of my main things that I did mention, right, is about, like, okay, again, money is not the money itself, right? It's not going to bring you happiness if you just have money. But if you're able to spend money for the things that you need, and a lot of things, the thing that you want to, though, it's going to bring some sort of happiness. Again, you do have people who are socially programmed to say, well, none of that stuff will make you happy, or having a certain type of lifestyle will make you happy, which it could be true to some personal like standpoint. But what I'm looking at it is that, like, okay, if you're in a bind, if you don't have enough, or you have poor management skills, and there's things that you really need, like I'm talking about, like serious, like if you have like serious health conditions and you can't even afford to pretty much like buy your way to good health, or have good doctors to really be by your side to really take care of you, you're pretty much screwed. You're not going to be happy. And I think that's where, like, I think people have to kind of sit down and think that, okay, half of the things that money can buy, right, can help me or will make me happy once I attain the things that I really need in my lifestyle to pretty much function in society. A lot of these times, like in this world, like unfortunately, like with inflation and things that's going so high up in there, it will put anybody into a depressed state. So I'm gonna go ahead and read these comments, but I just wanted to say, like, I agree to you. Now, Simon, if you was patient enough, right, you would have been able to chime in. But anyway,
is it okay if we can interrupt the interrupter?
Interrupt the interrupter?
Yeah, whenever it comes up. I'm just saying, yo.
Or the perpetrator. I guess that's the right word.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Wait.
Nice. Oh no, but M3 into the sister 6-1. What's her name? Six Boss.
Six Boss.
Okay. I do agree, because I want everybody to know what I was saying. I'm saying once you, and this is from, I'm mostly I spoke from a men perspective, actually. Men, when you have all your stuff together and all that shit, and all your money is like, how to manage all your shit, that's the shit I was talking about. I'm talking about things after you kind of want, like momentarily, like skiing and all that. Yeah, that's basically what I was talking about. What I'm saying is, you're on top of your shit. You're not struggling. You have things you're taking care of. Even, I know, let's say Watts got everything he needed, all the money he needed to take care of his little girl, all that. He, like I said, he grinded, he did all this. Now he makes more than he did averagely. Now for Watts, his ultimate happiness might be his little girl, if anything. Like, yeah, he still wants to do the stuff he wants to do, but his little girl probably gives him more happiness than more than his money. I can't confirm nor deny that, but more often to a man, sometimes it's cool to like his offspring, his kids, and like that kind of brings him joy, or the lady he has walking with him. So that's why I've always said, like, it's momentary. Like it's momentary in some things, but it doesn't mean that it can't like stop you from having a lot of problems. Just the bills problem, and maybe what you said with about the whole hospital thing. Of course, that, like I said, those are special occasions and exceptions that fell upon you. Of course, the money you saved up, I'm gonna use it for, or at least one of my little bank accounts that I got. Of course, get this checked out. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that somebody was able to prevent themselves from getting a disease or getting it cured, all that jazz. So I'm agreeing with those things. I mean, for like long term, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
For me, I do everything in my power to not let emotion be involved in my finances. That's the place where I'm at right now. Emotions cannot be involved in my finances, and that's positive or negative, right? So if I get that notice in the mail and it say, "Hey, bro, you got 24 hours to pay, or we're gonna cut that shit off," right now is not the time for emotion. Right now is, all right, shit, I got 24 hours. Okay, cool. The bill is 140. I got 60 in a duck right now. If I go DoorDash for X number, right? It's not time for emotion. Right now is the time for putting a plan together to figure out what you're going to do. If you're going to go over that 24 hours and you know that you're not going to have it for another 48, 36, all right, cool. Since I'm not going to have the money, I need to take everything out of my freezer. I'm going to call my mom, see if I can throw it. Like, emotion cannot be involved when you down bad. Period. I feel like the same thing has to be applied when you up. You can't wake up one day and see 100,000 in your bank account, be like, "Oh shit, I'm up." You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. We gonna go get that BMW. I'm gonna go get them gold teeth that I was thinking about. Shit, them Jordans come out tomorrow. I'm gonna go cop them. You see what I'm saying? So when this conversation to me really simply just comes down to money can provide certain things. You can get into those hospitals. You can take your kids to those summer camps. All of that shit. That's cool. You can live your purpose. That's cool. But money has no power on my fucking emotions. Because like Jay was just saying, I promise you, I guarantee on everything that I love, if I was living out of the backseat of my car and I had all 4 of my kids with me, that
Did you do that?
Oh, what happened?
oh shit.
Yo, MP3, did you do that? I was trying to hear this man's speech, and he cut that off.
Right, YouTube like censored him for that moment. I was like, okay, welcome back.
Yo, Watts, continue your speech, brother. I'm sorry.
But if I'm living in the backseat of my car and I have all 4 of my kids with me, that to me is everything that I need. Because I'm looking at all 4 of my kids while we living in this fucked up situation to say, all right, you got to keep going, big dog. This is exactly why you got to hit that next step. It's about making smarter decisions from here, making the best flip. Like, that's what the emotion shit that's involved in money, it has to be taken out. Because the same thing, if I'm living in a house, because right now I'm currently in the process of trying to get approved and to get in a house. I finally found the realtor. Is right in the right school zone, everything. I found everything. I'm in the process right now. I'm trying to get approved to this house. It don't got nothing to do with fucking money. It's really just the fact that I can now, like, this is the space that I need to be able to have all of my fucking kids with me. That's the shit that give me the happiness. I now have the opportunity to do that. And I get it. I know. Well, the only reason you was able to do that because you came up with the money. I know that. That's because we live in a capitalistic world. But the house is not what's giving me the happiness. The money is not what's giving me the happiness. Now, I do take pride in the fact that I did get up every day and take my ass to work and bust my ass. I do take pride in the fact that I did put in those 65-hour weeks for 8 weeks in a row to get this fucking money. I do take pride in that, but It's not the money, it's the work, it's the effort, it's the relationships, it's the process, it's the journey, it's all of that shit. That shit means way more to me than any number that will ever show up in my bank account, any cost, any of that shit. This money is fucking trash. Because like Vic was saying, if the world, if an EMP went off on the world right now and you could never touch an ATM again in your life, what you gonna do? What are you gonna do then? Now you have no choice but to go back to those relationships and the effort and the work and the training that you've done your entire life. Now you have no choice but to revert back to that. So what's up now? Because you let emotions be involved in your finances for way too long, now you fucking lost.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yo, watch, man. Thank you for that, man. I walk away with some wisdom what you just said, honestly.
And Six Boss, thank you for sharing the video. Appreciate it. Anybody else have anything y'all want to talk about? Otherwise, I could ask you guys another question. Okay. Let's see. What have you ever talking about? If you ever experienced a significant change in happiness due to okay, have you ever experienced a significant change in your happiness levels due to a change in your financial situation? If so, please share your story.
Can you read that again?
Sure. Basically, if you could share like your experience, like basically like when you didn't have a certain amount of resources, and now like you have the money to buy the resources that you need, have it changed pretty much like your your overall quality of life, like personally?
I could speak to that.
Okay, go ahead, Walks.
Go ahead, what?
All right, so it's 2014. 2014, I had just been home from Afghanistan for maybe about 8 months at this time. Whole bunch of shit going on. I ended up getting kicked out of the Air Force, right? For smoking weed. We can get into the story of all of that later. But basically, at this point in my life, I'm out of everything. Like this is I graduated high school. I moved out of my mom's house, got an apartment, bought my own car, had a kid, started building a family. All of this, and now all of this is walking out. And I remember on December 5th, walking in the house, December 5th, 2014, walking in the house and getting in the shower and broke down fucking crying. Like I went straight to the shower and just fucking broke down crying. And it again, like taking emotions out of the money. I cried because of what I did, because of the situation that I put my family in, because of the decisions that I made that led me up to where I'm at this point in my life. It wasn't about the fucking money. Fuck that money. It was good. Like it showed up on the 1st and the 15th, on time, every time. And if you had the right bank account, it'll show up a day early. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about the money. It was about what I did to put my family in this compromising position. And now having to work twice as hard to get out of this hole just to get back to where I was. And I knew that was coming. That shit broke me down. But again, it wasn't about the money. It was about the choices.
Yeah, Watts, I could actually relate to you because, and I'm for sure maybe a few people can, but a lot of times when we make bad choices, or poor choices when it comes to like money management, and let's say like us being single versus we have a partner that we're taking care of. So the choices you make by yourself as an individual, yeah, it will hurt for a bit, you know what I mean? But it hurts a lot more when other people are suffering because of your actions, and I could and that actually kind of hit home for me personally because you know if I'm not taking care of like finances, it's not going to be me who's suffering. It's going to also be like the wife that's going to be suffering as well too. And then that brings up more hostility, pretty much like inside yourself. Like, damn, like I really hate the my mindset. I really hate my past self right now. What I'm going to do to get out of it? How I'm going to fix it? How I'm going to break certain bad spending habits and create a delayed gratification in the future? Because you could get out of it, out of debt, but it's like, okay, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do to pretty much get out of that situation? And it's like you have to pretty much kind of like isolate from self as in selfish, you know what I mean? So now it's like, all right, I gotta think what qualities can I help bring to the family unit that we all will be winning, if that makes sense. So, Six Boss, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What do you think about that? Like, have you ever been like in a situation where maybe you made like a poor financial decision, but not only it affected you, it affected your family around you?
Um, yes and no. I would say that the biggest, not necessarily that I made the decision, but I was managing a retirement home in Calgary with my husband at the time. And my kid had just turned like 5. We were only managing the place for like 8 months. But it was a live-in position, and so we had a condo. Everything was paid for. Everything like housing, food, everything was paid for. And an investment company bought it over, and they took over the whole model, changed everything up, and all managers at all 300 locations across Canada and the US got not fired. The fuck is the word that I'm looking for? I'm way too high to think of it right now. Laid off.
Laid off.
Don't smoke weed before you stream, Priscilla. So we didn't have a choice. We had to move back to Toronto, and we ended up getting a basement apartment here because before we moved, we sold everything because they paid for all of our furniture. They paid for our car to be shipped over there, like all this shit, right? So we took mostly just our personal belongings, but no furniture. So when we were coming back, we literally had nothing. So we were starting from the ground up. And I guess that was just our first lesson of make sure you're fucking prepared or put some shit aside for like a rainy day kind of thing. Cause we had nothing. When we came back, our severance wasn't enough it was like good for like less than a month and a half worth of living here in Canada. It's very expensive compared to the States. I can tell you that. Plus our taxes are a lot higher. So in having said that, there came a day not too long after that where I remember it like yesterday. I had $2.17 in my account. And we were just like, what the fuck are we gonna do? That was a breaking point for me. If that was the point where I was like, my pride kind of and my ego had to be set aside for the first time, because it was the first time where I knew that I was gonna have to ask somebody for financial help, even if it was just for a little bit, for a moment, you know what I mean? But I had never done that, never. And I had to call my mom and tell her, like, I was in tears when I called her. I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, it's the first time I can't provide for my kid to even fucking eat. And she was like, you know, I'm your mom. You can come to me at any time, and whatever I can do, I'll help you. But that was kind of like my first lesson. It wasn't like I asked her for much. It was literally money to get groceries, and then I was gonna figure the rest out later. But that was the point that pushed me to stop working for a company and become an entrepreneur. And that was when I started the dog business. My dog business was pre-booked 6 months ahead within the first 2 months of me starting it, because of that motivation I had. I had nothing else to do but to fucking hustle at that point and like do everything. I was on, I remember, 3 hours of sleep. I was literally sitting at the computer building a business from the ground up, from websites to learning how to do SEO by myself, how to do this by myself, watching YouTube videos. I did all of that shit. And every little bit that I got, I started off babysitting dogs for $15 an hour or $15 a night. My bad. $15 a fucking night, no tax. I don't know what the fuck I was doing back then. That was like nothing. And like my prices now, I don't even know what I was thinking back then, but I had to build a name for myself. Like now is like the month of December is $85 minimum per night. So it's like I made a name for myself, but for the past 16 years, I would never go back to that. I basically, that lesson taught me I'm never going back to that situation again. No matter what happens in life, I'm always going to have funds in different fucking areas that I could always pull from, because I'm never not going to be able to ever not put food on the table for myself and for my kid again, ever. So that was kind of my moment. That was when I was 25.
You know what? This kind of brings me to another question, but first and foremost, thank you for even sharing that. Do you think, Six Boss? Do you think like because of like your situation of not having enough to provide was really kind of like the best thing to kind of happen to you in order for you to build that drive, that fire in there?
No, because just like everybody else said, that's why I said my story is a little different, but I can relate because had I had prepared, it's not like I didn't work in the bank before that. You know what I mean? Like I knew, but I didn't prepare myself. So that was my bad. So it was kind of like when Watts was saying he had a moment where it wasn't about the money. It was about the action and not taking accountability or being smarter in that moment, because you reflect on that. You're like, yo, I fucked up. I fucked up, and now because of my fuck up, now my kid has to suffer for that. And really and truly, that's not what parenting's about at the end of the day. So it's more than that. It's more than feeling like you failed for yourself or lost your job even. It's more so I failed my kid. And I already knew the right answer, but I chose to do A, B, and C instead. And now they have to suffer the consequences. So it's hard to take accountability for the things that you know that you did that quite literally put your life together in this moment. And I tell people that all the time on my stream. I said, everything that we say, everything that we do quite literally created the moment that we're in, the life that we have. And if you look back and you reflect on everything that brought you to this point, you'd agree with yourself if you could be that real. Everything that we've done, every action, every decision, every choice we made or didn't make, everything that we decided to try or not try, pursue or not pursue, we brought ourselves to this fucking moment. And every fucking minute that goes by, every hour, every fucking day, and this is real shit, that you choose to not improve yourself or to do something else to build your moment right now, that's gonna in turn reflect your future in a positive way back on you, then you're the one that's fucking up. Because it is true. I know it sounds cliche, but we all have the same fucking 24 hours. Our 24 hours might be different because our time might be required in different places for different amount of times. That's true. But at the end of the day, we still all have fucking 24 hours. And this is true too. People make time for what they want to fucking make time for. That goes for relationships. That goes for people, that goes for businesses, your money, your health, your mental, all of those things. Whatever's priority to you, you're going to put that on the forefront and put time into that. And that's why it comes back full circle. Whatever the fuck you put your time into is going to be the life that you create. If I'm checking a dude and I'm putting all my fucking time into that dude to getting to know him, and that's 20 hours of the day, and I'm only putting 4 hours into my fucking business, what do you think's going to flourish more or faster? It's going to be the relationship. That's fact. That's just how shit works. Whatever the fuck you put your time into, that's what's going to happen. But I know that's a little bit black and white, that kind of statement. It's a blanket statement. I get that. There's a lot of shit that happens in between beyond our control. At the end of the day, we still have the choice and we have the power. Here's one thing that I'll say if it doesn't get said at all during this whole fucking show, but it's true. At the end of the day, I think that everybody needs to remember that they're just responsible for their fucking life. Don't rely on anybody else. I think that we all put too much faith into other people, and we fail to realize that we all have the power within ourselves. Our words become our actions, and our actions become everything around us. The camera that we're looking into right now, and the microphone that I'm talking into, was literally a thought in somebody's mind at some point, and now here it is. But you can't have that money in the bank, and you can't have that BMW. You can't have the free fucking life that you want to be able to live without putting that thought that you have in your head into action, and then putting work into that action to let it flourish and to manifest. That has nothing to do with no manifestation, hocus pocus, secret shit. That's not what I'm talking about. If that's what you believe, then that's what you believe. But at the end of the day, energy is a real thing, and energy doesn't just disappear. Energy is only transferable. So again, it's whatever the fuck you put your time and your energy into, that's going to be your life. There's nothing in my life that I can complain about right now. Do I have problems? Fuck yeah. Is my life perfect? Fuck no. Do I stress at least 5 times a day? Fuck yeah. Do I have big ass fucking problems that I don't tell people about? Fuck yeah. But at the end of the day, I have my peace, I have my sanity, and I know who the fuck I am. And at any point where there's a situation that is trying to bring me down, all I have to remember is I still have my fucking peace and happiness. And while I have it, I'm going to use it to create a solution to come out of whatever that fucked up situation is. Because I learned again, depending on how I decide to respond or reply or play out that fucked up situation or that thing that's stressing me, that's how it's going to play out. I have the choice to either look at it as a blessing or a lesson, or something that's going to fucking break me. And too many times in the past, that's one thing that I really learned this year, is too many times in the past, I let shit break me when it was really trying to be like, yo, you needed to learn this shit because you're about to level up. And without learning this shit and feeling what this pain is like, you're not going to be able to appreciate this thing that's coming next. You want to appreciate it the way that you need to be able to maintain that blessing. Feel me? So it's like a lot of people are too focused on what they need, including money, instead of focusing on what is this thing really trying to teach me right now? Because we forget that yesterday doesn't exist and tomorrow doesn't exist. Only now exists. And we're always trying to reach for the next thing, or we're running for the next thing, or we're planning for the next 2 years, 5 years. Well, what if this doesn't happen? What if I do this and this doesn't happen? What if? Fuck the what if. What the fuck are you doing right fucking now? You know what I mean? And people forget about the moment. Right fucking now is really real time. It's all we fucking have. We don't know what's going to happen in 2 years. We don't know what's going to happen in 2 hours. Nobody knew that when people were starting to get sick in March, when all this COVID shit happened, that it was actually the whole fucking world was going to get shut down. Nobody thought that shit, but it happened. You know what I mean? So I think that we need to take the lessons that were brought to us within the past 2.5 years. And that's why I said it's different now. That's why I started off the conversation saying 2023 is a different fucking ball game. Whatever the fuck you were doing before COVID to hustle, to make money, to survive, that shit don't exist. Our generation needs to understand that we need to uncondition our mind to whatever we used to think and start conditioning it to what the ways of the world are now, to be able to take the fucking blinders off wherever the lies are and be able to concentrate on what we need to do to be able to survive. People aren't talking about what the possibilities are around martial law happening. People aren't talking about what the possibilities are another lockdown happening. People are not talking about how cash is going to become obsolete and how America has already started it in a few states, including California. Nobody's talking about the realities of the after effects of COVID and the way that the world and the economy is moving, and quickly at that. And that's why I said that it is about money at the end of the day. I understand where 100 watts is coming from, but we don't live in that land anymore. We live in a society where we understand that a lot of shit is being controlled. We're being fed, quite literally, like I said about the food, poison in every fucking way, from our minds to our bodies to our souls. And nobody gives a fuck about that part. You need money to survive. If you're going to survive with all of the shit that's going on, and I'm not going to talk about all of the specifics, you guys know what the fuck is going on. You're going to need money to be able to survive at the end of the day. So whether you're single or you're in a relationship, put all the bullshit aside. And I do agree with Watts, what he was saying. Take fucking emotion out of it at this point. I 100% agree at that. Because we don't got time for fucking the softness, this fucking soft ass fucking society with the anxiety. And don't get me wrong, I deal with a lot of shit, but it's like over anxiety, overly depressed, overly insecure, overly introverted. It's like all those things are on fleek for a lot of our kids' generation. And they don't know how to deal with the reality of quote unquote, we're fighting a fucking war here. Not even just a spiritual warfare. It's a fucking war against do I even have rights as a human being anymore? Is the fucking war. Do you even know what your rights as a human being is after you fucking took the vaccine? Let's talk about that. So when you guys are talking about if you don't have money, can you be happy? Fuck no. Talk to anybody who doesn't have money right now. All the fucking 55% of the people in North America who lost their homes because they don't have money. Ask all them if they're happy.
Right. Real quick. I gotta give like SK like I'm sorry, I call him SK. SJ Sophisticated Jerk, right? His shout outs because he did donate to Knowledge and Relationships. If I could just put up real quick. Thank you, Six Boss. Thank you so much. And Marcus, I'm gonna get to you real quick. But he says money can definitely buy happiness, right? So, but again, thank you for the $10 super chat, and we're gonna play the super chat theme song real quick.
Your viewership of the stream is highly valued, and we appreciate the support. If you would like to contribute to the platform, you can do so by sending a super chat, super sticker, Cash App, or PayPal donation. Thank you for the kind gesture. Appreciate the donation. I can't thank you enough.
I'm rich, bitch!
Thank you. Man, y'all put all that energy talking about demonetized. Look. YouTube don't even pay me enough anyways for me to even care at this point. But I will say this though, right? Everything that, the guests, what we're saying, right? All this is for educational purposes. Where is the goddamn banner, right? So there you have it, YouTube. So again, please be advised that what we discuss is not political, clinical, financial, medical, nor legal advice. This is for information and entertainment purposes only. Make sure you guys smash that like button, fam. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Knowledge Relationships on YouTube. And please follow us on Twitch too as well. Again, please be advised the opinions of the panelists, guests, chat are not necessarily the viewpoints of Knowledge Relationships, but everybody has their own individualized opinion to a lot of things. You gotta understand, there is never a right or wrong. So of course, this is what we always have to say for YouTube or whatever. But anyways, thank you again for Sophisticated Jerk for the donation. Anybody else that want to come up, feel free to come up. Marcus, I know you have you have something that you want to say, for a minute. So go ahead, man.
Yeah, no, I agree on both sides on 100 watts and what Six Boss was saying. Mm-hmm. Like I said, go back to what you said when it comes to your thumbnail. It's just the whole security thing, So that breathing point as opposed to that anxiety and that stressed out point. People need to make sure they're planning ahead and they're just not overspending and living above their means. I know that when certain people enter a certain tax bracket, they get a little too maybe a little too boastful. Maybe they think you know what, we can finally get that car that we wanted or that vacation, and then we can overspend a little here and there and buy the kids whatever they want and stuff. And that's fine every now and then, but for the most part, don't forget where you come from. Don't forget what was working for you is what helped get you there in the first place. And crazy things are happening too in the banks too. So I don't the whole money thing. The value of the actual dollar itself is in itself going to be losing its weight and value eventually if certain other foreign countries and allies in themselves might align with themselves, and then our money's going to be devalued. Then you're going to be into the whole of the have and have nots, because I know that the middle class tax bracket itself was wiped out a lot, especially during the pandemic and after, especially when a lot of mom and pop shops were taken out. They couldn't afford to even stay open. Some weren't even allowed to stay open because of the city and the state, what they were allowing nationwide. Certain pharmaceutical company itself, a corporation, wasn't allowing it because they were all making money within themselves, spreading it out to a lot of lobbyists and all the politicians and all the funding and all the government programs. So now it comes down to this point. So now a lot of the corporations were still staying open, making all that money. Now we have, like the quality of food, the quality of medicine, the quality of living, expenses. A lot of people don't understand either. I'm going to just use California, for example. A lot of people that were leasing or renting or trying to rent to buy, they didn't realize that after the people that weren't paying for their rent or paying for their property, paying for their lease, whatever the agreed payment was every month, to that were able to get away with it and not pay because of the Fair Housing Act and the funding. When COVID was, somehow, I can't believe I was saying it, but when it was open again for the people to go back to live their regular lives, those corporates and those owners and the landowners and all that kind of stuff, they had to find a way to make up that money that they lost that they weren't getting back. So that's why a lot of the rent was going up. That's why a lot of leasing was going up. That's why property value itself went up. A lot of millionaires are made because of real estate. So that's especially here in America. Majority of the millionaires that become those 8-figure, 7-figure millionaires is because they were owning the properties itself. So now it's come down to LLCs and just a little future hindsight. If you can invest in land and property, if you can, even if you got to do it as a group effort, that helps out a lot. That's probably one of the only very few ways you can find out how gold and silver can be tangible itself. That can help you out in the long run, because the dollar, the way it's going to be, it's going to be pretty bad, and it's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets a whole lot better, from my point of view and perspective.
Unfortunately, you were so right. It's like you gotta wait for like the bad to kind of like pass on through, and we don't even know how long it's gonna take. Even with interest rates going up to like 8.5%, by next year, and so on. Like this inflation stuff, man. Like all this stuff is getting out of control, and I mean, yeah, it could definitely keep a person down, because it's like, well, the only thing that is not going up. Now, matter of fact, let me ask you guys this: what is the only thing that's not going up right now, besides inflation, bills, and everything else?
Minimum wage.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but even then, that itself in California, I think one of them. I think but people don't realize that if your minimum wage raises higher, that means now you're going to get taxed more. That means that you're going to be entering, depending on how much the minimum wage for whatever job area you're in, demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have an actual tax write-off, even if you have certain exempts you can do to put on those forms and your documents, you're going to be placed in a tax where it's going to cut it down too. So now you're going to be entering a new threshold. And what's Uncle Sam going to do? Definitely, we all know what Uncle Sam doesn't play with, and that's taxes. You can be damned if you can do any other crime, but if you tax evade, tax fraud, whatever it is, watch out. They don't play with that shit.
Right. Carlisha, salutes to you. She says you need 3 incomes to live decent. Yes, Uncle Sam is pimping, right? But they say pimping ain't easy unless you Uncle Sam, though. I want to talk about that part, right? Well, 3 incomes. Do you think? Okay. I'm not. Like I said, I'm really trying to steer away from like relationship type of questions, but I think this question needs to be like posed. If you were in a multiple relationship, right? Poly, whatever, uh, type of relationship, do you think life will be better as far as with income, or you don't have to be party? Just like you just in a household with just you, a couple of friends, you know what I mean, and y'all making that commitment to really put your resources in together. I think that's even better than just trying to be in a relationship. Like I said, if it was just you, two other homies or whatever, you living in one household, and now you putting your income together into it. We guys think about that. If
Many
you have
hands
multiple children,
load light.
we say Vic,
Many hands make the load light.
right, right.
So I mean, anytime you can share responsibility, that's always desirable, assuming that the sacrifice for that is not too great, because it's always going to be a give and take. You know, you want to split the bills, and guess what? You got to split the say so. You got to split the space. You got to split comfortability. You know, you like it cold, and your roommate like it hot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, there's always going to be some degree of trade off if you're asking for someone else's assistance, whatever your goal is. But I think the amount of stress that it relieves, assuming that you are working with, people that you can trust and tolerate, um, that's ideal or optimal. That is the principle of a village. That is the principle of a family, so that, I mean, especially back in the day, people only went to school through fifth grade, and then they went and got a job and came back and helped out on, the farm or wherever the hell, you know, what I mean? They got something. That's where I had to come up with child labor laws, because people were having hella kids so they can have hella help. Your oldest sibling was is probably gonna be more like your parent than your parent. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of standing in. I think that greed, that love of money is the thing that convolutes it all. Where you're willing to sacrifice a piece of yourself, a piece of your morality, a piece of your spirit, your soul, your your credibility. You know what I mean? Your ability to look yourself in the mirror. You'll actually trade your own personal peace of mind for someone else's. How can you rest with ill-gotten gains? I think that's where it gets convoluted at. You know, I'm a successful drug dealer, hypothetically speaking. Yet I watch my whole neighborhood turn into zombies because of what I'm doing. Yet I got my gold BBSs, my AC stay on blast. So I mean, how happy can you really be with the trade-offs that you have to make in the process?
Hmm. Thank you, Vic. Real quick, everyone. If you guys have not, please subscribe to Knowledge and Relationships on YouTube, and please give us a follow here, like on Twitch. Again, shouts to Six Boss for hosting our channel and sharing our live like to you guys. Hope you guys are finding this to be not only educational but also entertaining as well too. And the main thing is that I just want everybody to walk away with their minds right. Always get your minds right. If you guys ever want to know what time we're gonna be streaming, usually it depends, like my days like on work, but um most likely we're gonna be streaming like on Thursdays only for now, and it will probably be between 5 or 6 Pacific time. That's our time in California. So if it's the East Coast, I think 5 o'clock would be 6, 7, 8. That would be 8 o'clock your time. And yeah, so just keep in mind. So that's the times like we'll be streaming between like 5 or 6. So it'll be like around like 8 or 9 Eastern time. Anyways, I will be wrapping up really shortly, unless if anybody else have any like like questions, any closing comments. Feel free, you guys, like to speak now on it. So,
Or forever hold your silence.
mm-hmm.
Or forever hold your silence.
Oh yeah, I heard that 100.
Was you about to say something, Jay?
No, I think Marcus gonna say something.
I'm just resting in my masculinity right now.
You're goofy. I was just curious because I heard Six. I believe the exact line she used was, "Yesterday doesn't exist and tomorrow doesn't exist." I think. I think that that's one of those things that it does sound good on its surface, but when we tell people that their decisions carry repercussions, I kind of don't think that you can tell people that the past don't exist. And when you're telling people that the decisions that they're making now can affect their future, I don't think you can say that that doesn't exist either. Like, I kind of feel like yesterday is a prerequisite for today. Like, what you did yesterday matters. If you decided to drop out of school, that's gonna matter. If you decided that you were gonna spend your money on weed and hoes, that's gonna matter. If you decided to invest your money and save your money and not go to parties, that's gonna matter. That just be interesting to me because it's a lot of people that think that they can just live in the moment, but the decisions that we make in the moment matter for everything around us.
But that's out of context because we were talking about financial situations. So in your
even in a financial
situation, still though, the decisions that you're making right now you're right. I'll agree with you. Your yesterday matters and your tomorrow matters, but they still don't exist. Your now exists. And that statement is true. So if we only really have the now that we're in, I'm not saying live for the moment, only YOLO. I'm not saying YOLO. I still plan for the future financially 100%. But that doesn't mean that everything that I'm doing today, everything that I flip, everything I save or I lose, I'm going to be able to experience that tomorrow. I'm going to be able to expect hope too. There's hope, but tomorrow still doesn't exist until tomorrow comes. And even when tomorrow comes, we're still in the now. And the decisions that I make now, they will still affect my future 100%. But when we're talking about the situation of managing our finances different, even going back to your situation that you were talking about, Watts, you have to look back at, you said take the feelings out of it. So if I'm going to take yesterday out of it and what could possibly happen in the future and focus on what I can control now, that was my point. You got to focus on what the fuck you can control now. We were talking along the lines of your thoughts and your actions become what your reality is, or what you're creating your life to be, and that all matters in the decisions that you make for yourself now by taking your emotions out of it. If I fucked up yesterday, I fucked up yesterday. Cool. I forgive myself for that.
Both things are right, though. I think both you guys are right.
That's what I'm saying. I don't disagree with him. That's why, remember at the end of my statement, I'll repeat myself on that. I said that was a very black and white statement that I made, and I understood that. At the end of the day, it's not all black and white because there's a lot of things that factor. But when it comes to making decisions right now, 100%, all we have is right now. Every fucking moment we have is right now.
But I think overall, what financial freedom means for everybody is just different. You know what I'm saying? What it means for one person may not mean for somebody else. You know what I mean? Some people may just have like a different outlook on it, may have a different opinion on it, but doesn't doesn't make it right or wrong. I think it also depends on just our experiences. So what we have experienced through our lifetime, or we see other experiences, it shapes our outlook on it. You know what I mean? Now, in that, yes, there is still fact and there's still fiction. You know what I'm saying? So it's what's actually real and what's actually fake. So what I mean, we still got to deal with the reality of things, but but to keep it buck, like excuse me, it's different for everybody. So excuse me, it's different for everybody. So everybody has a different outlook on it. You know what I mean? So, but I do get both of y'all point of views. I think y'all both are right. You know what I mean? And what y'all feel and how y'all and what your perspective is. So yeah.
We're both very opinionated, but I love him just the
I
same.
couldn't tell from both.
No.
We've
I
been
actually agree
knowing.
with a little bit on that because I think it's important to know, like, even the position that I'm in right now, like, I really shouldn't be here personally, given my birthright and everything that happened. But since I am where I'm at, I would think a little differently, looking inside out about money, because I guarantee if it was the other way around, I would think like, yeah, money does buy happiness. Honestly, like if I was poor and then I just came up with a lottery, I'm like, dude, you were, and I'm not responsible. I've never got to responsibility of how to use money, whatever. I would use it recklessly. I would have I wouldn't know how to invest. I wouldn't know how to put things into order to set up to a future to where I could possibly be a business owner or possibly be a father with kids and a wife. So it's just like, yeah, like I said, I think it's a matter of circumstances and environment, and also yes, experiences too, of course. But like I said, I think it's circumstance of one's birth as well too. Like if you ever got like a a quote unquote talk down lesson about money management and things, a class, and also your personal parents actually telling you what to save on. I remember my grandfather always telling my ass, "Yo, son, don't splurge, save up. You don't know you don't need that." And now because of him, I'm very smart with how I use my money. So what I build into, and also I actually learned how to spend less, which is really good. Because it's like, wait, well, you say you have all this money, right, Jim? Like, how come you use any of it? I use it wise. I use it sparingly, and I use it very wisely, so that I'll always have something, so that there won't ever be any zeros in my account. So I'm just, like I said, I just don't blow it on stupid shit like stupid people. and not to even insult about it, but like I said, what I may consider stupid may not be stupid for them. But I've always said, like I said, if there's something that you want to use it for in the future, building a family, kids, and things like that, like I said, that's when will be the most important to me. Like when I get in watch the positions, I have kids, I'm like, dude, it means that when I've done that decision, I've already would have had the money before they came into the mix. They're all taken care of, but it's going to be more so planned than it just be here. So, I mean, that's how I kind of see it, because I want to like say for future generations, and also put that time into my kids. And when I retired, it's just it's me and the wife on the roller coaster at that point. So that's when we treat ourselves to vacations and things of that nature. But that's how I kind of see it in my brain, of like how people view the investment of $1, the investment of like quote unquote any type of fund. So, I mean, that's just me though. and Six Boss, yes, you are very opinionated. So is 84. So is M3, and damn sure Marks.
I've been the most quiet here.
Yeah, right.
Bruh.
But yeah, man, I love this topic. This actually, like I said, I'm walking away with a knowledge and different perspectives of other people that I like to hear, instead of a goddamn fucking echo chamber. You know, I can't stand that for the life of me. But It's good. It's good to really hear. It's good to really hear that. And sister, if you got a channel, I'm definitely gonna subscribe to it, girl. You got like the freaking eulogy of what you was talking about, girl. Like you got
Thank
like
you.
an actual
I do
straight
have a
code.
channel. It's called Six Boss.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, girl. Girl, you got a code. Like this is what I've lived. This is what I've experienced. And I'm like, I believe her words. I do.
Because I don't
And
like,
best
and
part, I
the
didn't hear any
only way to be
hesitation
is
when she was
you.
saying it.
That's the thing, is like it's good to be able to have people around, especially a panel full of men that have dope opinions, are comfortable in themselves, and don't fall back just because somebody doesn't agree with them. It's nice. I love fucking with people in general who know how to be themselves. And I love that I could be on a panel full of men where we can agree to disagree. So that was dope. Thank you for having me. Appreciate you guys.
Sweetheart, thanks for having your opinion here and just sharing your thoughts. I love the genuineness. That's good.
Yeah, Six Boss, we always appreciate your presence around, like, on our platforms, and it's always enjoyable when I'm able to tune into yours as well too. I mean, you be talking about some like real like dope stuff, and these are the type of conversations. Look, I understand that the channel's name is Knowledge and Relationships, so once in a while we do have to talk about some relationship topics, but at the same time, relationships doesn't have to be limited to the frivolous gender war. Oh, what did the woman not do, and what did the man not do? Like, come on now, like at a certain point, like you gotta think outside of like the normal social realm, okay? Because there's more to it besides male and female relationships, okay? How we're doing in our finances, how we're doing in our life. For some, religious now, whatever. How you just doing? Matter of fact, how you doing your overall quality well-being of life? And if you're not really doing well in those aspects, let's talk about it. Let's dig in deep and understand what is really going on, and how can we actually find a solution to actually tailor the needs of the people. At this point, we've been there, we've done that, and I'm just tired of talking about the same stuff that actually produces no value. Unless if it does produce value to it, I'm all in for it. But if it does not, you could miss me with that BS. Okay? I just want to make sure that my team and I, we're consistently producing real content, quality content for you guys. And that's about it. What up, Queen? I know you didn't come out here to fall asleep. What's up, Queen? How you doing? Okay, maybe she might be getting her mic ready, but
It sounds probably out real quick.
I'm good.
Oh, okay, that's you. All right. How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing, M3? Good to see you back in the building, ready to mess with you, give you a hard time. It's all good.
Hey, it's good to be back. You know what I mean? And as always, it's always good to see you as well too, though. Now, just to let you know, the topic for tonight is basically money is the ultimate source of happiness. Without money, you are going to be miserable for the rest of your entire life. Okay? What do you think about that, Queen?
It's funny how you add sauce onto that every time you say it.
That's what I do best, Watch.
I know when Watch said it, and I was just like, you I mean, well, because he want to keep putting a spin on it, like a little, like add like an extra layer topping with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I said you're doing M3. Improve, I get it.
Well, I have to sometimes, man. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah, from one producer to another, I noticed your play. That was all. It's good work, big dog. Good work.
Thank you.
But once he puts the shades on, he changes. He's like Morbius or something, or Blade. He just switches up real quick.
Well, it's really Blade.
That man,
Yo, get that sword out. Hey, yo, take out that sword.
He said, "Take up
I
this."
mean,
He
I
said,
got my swords, but
Take that sword. Because Blade got sword, remember?
"Oh yeah, because Jay, man, he be coming with the blades, bro."
well, I actually funny enough, I actually have 6. I tell my parents even to this day, it's like, you guys ain't gotta send me nothing for Christmas. I'm all good. I love y'all. We good. I got me. But they sent me an authentic Japanese freaking koi fish sword. So I was like, that shit was nice. So I was like, yeah, because they know I love that Asian culture. So I was like, yeah, thank you. I gotta find a place to hang it somewhere though. When you got
Where'd
roommates
you order
and
that
shit.
from? Temu?
Say what?
Where'd you order that from? Temu?
Oh no, they ordered it.
Don't do him like that. No, don't do him like that. No, not no Timo. No.
That's hilarious, dude. But no, but no,
Right.
like hey, guys, I also want to say this too, because it relates to the topic for the audience out there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell somebody, keep something in mind. Don't get anything twisted when you see some of these people in the places they stay out. Everything that is in this damn room, I own. I don't take handouts. I turn down shit from people because I didn't want nothing to do with them. My mom offered me a car in high school and I said no. I didn't want it because it came with constraints. I didn't fucking want it. So I caught the bus a majority of time in high school because I was a freaking teenager because I turned one down when I was 16 in high school. So I was like, when I started working, I learned a lot of value of a dollar through my father, him telling me, this is what you want to make money, you're gonna have to work jobs, son. And honestly, the fact that you're doing it at a much younger age than I did tells me I did a good job with you and the boys. So, just another lesson about learning the value of a dollar. You work for it, then you can use it however you want because it's yours. So, walk away with anything. Walk away with that lesson.
I mean, it could be a good thing, but then it could also be a detriment. I mean, but you already explained why you will turn down a handout because it came with a motive. Whereas, like in other cultures in their communities, this is why people have like a one-up over. This is why other communities will have a one-up over us because they always receive handouts without stipulations. Or if there was a stipulation, the stipulation is basically, I give you this because that's going to get you the X, Y, to the Z. But we all as a community will put our money in together, no matter if you work at McDonald's, Taco Bell, Walmart, Target, or all these other stores, right? That people will consider to be low value in the pay wage. You're putting your money in together to actually build something. What up, Queen again? And what up, Riggs? Big Rig Slaps is in the building.
What's going on, y'all?
Give me a minute. I'm here, but give me a minute.
Okay, I got you, Queen. But we got Riggs up in the building. What's up, Riggs? How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. Fuck, I just turned on my phone, looked on YouTube, seen you was on there cracking.
Man. I mean, that's what we do, man. We're going. We're back for like season 3. We're going to be streaming like at least like once a week. Take it slow, but around like 5 or 6, Pacific time. We'll be on there on Thursdays.
I could dig it.
Yeah. But Riggs, man, what you think, man? What do you think about money being the ultimate source of happiness to your quality, well-being of life?
So meaning like which one would I pick or like what? Or are you just saying period? Money is money.
Yeah. Just period. I'm just making a statement, man. Like, look, hey, without money, man, I ain't gonna be happy, bro. That's just what it is.
I do believe that, bro. But I also, to be honest with you, my whole mind state used to be like, if I had all the money, shit, why would I not be happy? You know what I'm saying? But to be honest, I know people that got money, man, and they ain't happy. And the reason why is because they don't got other things like, you know, companion and shit like that, and you know, like things that money really can't buy necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like real love and compassion, real people in their lives that you know, freak with them, you know, in a genuine way, and not because they have money. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is almost like you got to think twice, because are they just trying to be cool with me because they know, you know, my money's up, or you know, they trying to ask me for a favor. It's like you got to sometimes be on the ropes, bro.
Okay.
But
yeah.
But my mind frame, you know, but it has changed a little. I used to think, man, if I had the money, bro, like, why would I have any problems? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
if I want that new car, if I want to take that trip to Dubai, if I want to fucking, you know, get that house by the beach, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I think it can get deeper than that, bro.
But Riggs, right? What about like, okay,
I just wanted to say something to that
go ahead.
real quick. Then maybe we should just be making the statement that everyone's happiness is subjective as well. Because happiness to M3, to myself, to 100 Watts, to everybody on here, Queen Forever, is subjective. What happiness and peace means to me is not the same for you. So in turn, what you were saying earlier is true as well. Our financial state is subjective as well as to what's okay and what's not okay on a scale level for our lives. So really and truly, like you were just saying, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you're right, because everybody's opinion is correct to their living situation, and their happiness is correct to their living situation. Happiness is food, and food costs money.
And even maybe some of the gamers, man, like, you know, happiness is like being able to buy like a bunch of video games, you know, or streaming.
Food is free.
Food tree? I
Food
like
is
that.
free. You can
Oh,
get
food
food
is free.
anywhere. You don't have to buy food. Let's correct. I'm just joking. You can go.
I mean, you know, but no,
you can get
but
a lot of stuff for free these days. So
I mean, everybody, like, you know, I get what she's saying. I mean, everybody's
food banks,
point of
I'm
happiness is,
I'm just messing with y'all.
but
no, but that just started up a good conversation. We're gonna roll with that.
But what was you about to get at though, M3? Because you was about to.
Yeah. What I was gonna say was like, okay, because you know, you mentioned a little bit like as far as like let's say like friendship or something like that, or
right,
you have money, right? But then it's like, okay, you know, you might be, and I'm hella paraphrasing, you know what I mean? So forgive me for that, but it's like what I took from it is like, okay, you could have the money, but then you may not even have like the people around your corner, you know what I mean? Because you're saying that, you know, some people who have it, you know, are still miserable. So technically, based on their own personal lifestyle, like you could either be happy or you could not be happy, you know, because money doesn't really mean much of a value if you don't really see it that way. But where I was gonna get at is like, okay, let's say for instance, if because we had a conversation earlier about like, let's say friendship or community, right? Let's say like you have that community or you have like friends, like really good quality friends, okay? But you know, now these days, right? You know, friendship is like kind of sketchy. You know, you never know who's gonna kind of like, you know, backstab you. You never know who's gonna be kind of fake or whatever. And a lot of us, we kind of throw out like, man, I don't need no new friends. You know, like the Drake song, "No New Friends," or we throw out like, man, like I'm cool with just being alone by myself, right? So when we constantly like throw that out there like that, I mean, who needs like friendship or who needs like, you know, quality friends when you could have money, you know what I mean, to actually like distract that mind from that. to distract that void. Now, I'm not saying, like I said, I'm just saying in a parallel, subjective type of manner. You know what I mean? If he was getting to that point.
So you think, do you believe that just because you can make a lot of money, you think that that can replace that void of being around other people, like socially?
Well, for me, realistically, no, right? But if I was to run with that, right, just for the sake of the stream, right? You know, are there some people that are like that? Where you're so consumed with like trying to get the most out of life that you may be just content with using money to pretty much like accomplish like your achievements with that itself alone. You may not even be concerned of having this friend or that friend. I know there's some people that's like, hey man, that keep saying, yo, I'm cool with just like not having friends at all. I'm cool with being by myself. So if you're cool with being by yourself, but now you have resources, is that's gonna make you happy, basically.
I know people that say that too, M3. That was a cool little spin right there.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So I don't know, man.
But
I'm just
if they already cool, if they already cool being by themselves, then the money don't matter. Because I could be by myself broke.
No, but what he's
I could be
saying though,
broke
put the
and be by
money.
myself.
That is
But
true.
he's saying put the money in there though with it, like they're gonna be happy. Because if you already happy being by yourself, because we're talking about, because the way I put it is if you got the money and shit, you got to worry about certain friends or whatever just trying to be around you because you got paper. You feel me? But what he's saying is, well, there's people out there that is content with being by themselves, and what if they had the money at their fingertips? You know what I'm saying? They would be happy.
No, anyone.
I don't think people that are against not having friends or whatever are happy anyways. I think that's a crock of shit, but that's a whole other subject.
Go ahead, Queen.
That's somebody who's learned to be alone and they tolerate it. That doesn't mean that you're happy. Just because
I like that. I like that word tolerate, Queen. I like the word tolerate.
It's just like going to a job that you hate. You tolerate it because you know you need that money.
Right.
Until you get something else. So
right.
You tolerate people. It's not that you're happy. You tolerate certain things because you enjoy the perks of them instead of them without the perks. And that's when money buys people. Because if you told a person that you was with tomorrow, we broke, we ain't got no money, we're going to lose the house, how they going to respond versus having it all? So I'm just saying. So
I mean, but it's also just who you are. It's just your character as well. Yeah. Money, or anything else will just show your character.
Exactly.
That's all it does. It's a you know what I mean? It just reflects what's already there. You know what I'm saying? And that is not going to take away from trauma. They're going to take away from your insecurities. And they're going to take away from anything that you're really dealing with on a real time basis. You know what I mean? Now, if you're using money to basically find things that can be beneficial to help you deal with things that you're going through, like you looking for a therapist, or you're using money to find a lifestyle coach or a religious group or whatever, and you're trying to just figure it out. And man, okay, you know what I mean? Maybe I can, maybe I have the finances now. I can actually get with professionals or the right people to kind of work me through this, help me through this, or maybe I can actually, train with somebody and work on my physical health so that way I can lose weight and things of nature, give me personal training, things of that nature, right? Yeah. So using money as a benefactor for you. But if it's not that, you just using it to kind of just say, yo, I got it, or you just try to use it as a flex, but yet you still got all the other shit underneath it. That other shit is gonna be like shit in the toilet if you just keep piling on. It's just gonna explode.
Well,
you're not really flushing it. You're just putting money on top of it. You know what I'm saying? So the money is just basically a layer of like just mad toilet paper, but it's still mad shit underneath it, and you never flushed it. You know what I'm saying? And that, I mean, and that's just what it is. So all that stuff that you're feeling, all the insecurities, all that anger, all that trauma, all that stuff from school or from men rejecting you or women rejecting you or your family rejecting you, all that's still there. It ain't going away. You know what I mean? I done been in different centers. I done been on the floor and I done been in a palace. It don't go away if you ain't dealing with that shit, man. That shit is still there. It does not matter.
Hey, so Mr. Best, you think that a person dealing with all that and they chose to go to the path of success, would that be considered a positive or a negative, or is that just based on how that person reacts to the said wealth, the said status?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, Marcus. You know what I mean? At the height of me doing what I was doing in my career and me being out here, being in the tech field, having food paid for, having everything done for me the way I wanted it, I felt like I could drown my enemies with my success. I could drown all the things in my past with my success, but I almost ended up drowning myself. And I got sick and a lot of other things started happening. You know what I'm saying? So you could think that, success is going to help me get out of it. But nah, it ain't, because you still got them other factors there. So you just have more vices to run to. You have more resources to run to. You know what I mean? So, and plus, when you are being successful, people kissing your ass. You know what I mean? you get the right people around you, they're gonna kiss your ass because you got the bag. Like, and they don't want to mess with the bag, right? So yeah, hey, yo, you fly, yo, you the greatest, or you this, you that. You know what I'm saying? Because you are in a position, you are now successful. And the people that are naysayers, or the people that's trying to show you reality, you know what I mean? Maybe you hear them, but sometimes when you really up, man, you get rid of them people, man. Hey, get them out of here, man. I'm up right now. I'm the man right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. I'm not trying to hear nobody tell me that I'm wrong. Nah, I didn't have it. Now I got it. And if you ain't really with what I'm with, you in my way. You know what I'm saying? Because you suffered for so long that now that you've been pulled out of that fire, you know what I mean? It's like you've been in the heat all day and ain't no AC. And now you finally in AC and you chilling. You ain't trying to hear nothing else, man. You ain't trying to hear, you know what I mean? Oh, hey, this is not right. Or hey, maybe we need this in the house. Look, man, F that. I am in the AC. I'm chilling. I got me something to drink. I got some food. I'm relaxing. I don't really care what's going on down the block. That can wait. Even if it's detrimental to what's going on in here, I'm relaxing. You know what I mean? If success can relax you, it can numb you to what's really going on. So yeah.
Word. Guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this up. So I gotta get ready for work tomorrow. But this was definitely like a fun stream, man. Very refreshing to talk about something that is definitely needs to be said. By the end of it, of course, even though I make certain titles or whatever, I want to say for clickbait, but I make certain titles for a reason so people can actually be open to actually express whatever the thoughts, how they feel about certain topics or certain ideologies. And basically, hey, look, whether if you agree or disagree, hey, there's no right or wrong answer. Okay. Case in point, we know that money, it's not the ultimate source of happiness. Okay. There's a lot of things that can make you happy as a whole of a person. But we also know too that everything is subjective. So I can't fully combat and be like, oh, you're wrong because this, based on my personal experience, well, guess what? My experience is not your experience. So, we all could just say look, just like what Six Ball says, we all have different experience and different views of how we look at money. And, it can bring some sorts of happiness, but it only caters to the person's needs. Really, ultimate happiness is basically what really truly makes you happy as a whole, with or without it. So, oh, Karen didn't. Well, Karen with a C didn't know this was a live stream. Yes, yes, it's definitely a live stream. Real quick, everybody. For the ones who's watching, like from Six Boss platform, again, salutes to you. Uh, please give us a follow on Knowledge and Relationships on Twitch, and please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We mostly stream on YouTube, but we do stream both sides, Twitch and on Facebook. Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Again, please
What about
subscribe
the
to
Rumble? Well, Rumble?
Oh, well, yeah, Rumble too. I mean, yeah. We also stream on Rumble as well. We definitely need to build more traffic on Rumble side, but primarily, hey, if you guys will subscribe to YouTube, it definitely will help us because they're the only ones that are, funding us a little bit. And definitely follow us on Twitch again. So shout out to everybody that tuned in. It's great to see the family up in here once again. And anybody have any last closing comments before I wrap it up?
Appreciate you letting us up on the panel and speak. Shout out to everybody. M3, Queen, Mr. Best, Big Rig, Six Boss, Jay, 100 Watts, Vic, everybody who was in the chat, appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having me as well. Appreciate you guys.
Please make sure to hit the link, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell to all these content creators that put in the work daytime out of their day for their, from the families, from work. Mr. Best, M3, appreciate y'all as always. Big Rick, Six Boss, Queen, and everybody else who came through. So y'all make sure to have a good night.
Hey, much love to everybody, man. I appreciate you, 84. I appreciate you, M3. I appreciate you, Six Boss. I appreciate you, Queen. I appreciate you, Marcus, and everybody in between. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just fucking continue to be great and repeat tomorrow, man.
Hey, definitely, man. Thank you, Riggs. Appreciate you, homie. Shout outs to you.
Y'all
Good to see you
stop
as
tripping
always.
in these streets. Stop playing yourself, right, Big Rig? Stop playing yourself in these streets. Stop leading with your pocket, because when your pocket empty, you're gonna be lonely and broke and miserable. So keep leading stop leading with your pocket. Don't play yourself. And on that note, I'm out.
Yeah.
I was waiting for her to say that. Yeah, don't play yourself. All right, man. With that being said, thank you again, man. Riggs, man, good to see you up in here, my brother. Salute, man. Salute. And if anything, man, make sure y'all turn to the Easily Riggs show right here on Knowledge and Relationships.
Yeah.
Whenever they get a chance to stream on Tuesday nights on the late night tip, be sure to tune in. And with that being said, exactly. Make sure you guys and ladies get your minds right and subscribe to Knowledge and Relationships here on YouTube. I posted a link on the Twitch side, but also if you're still on the Twitch side, follow us on Twitch as well too. Don't hesitate to follow and subscribe to our channels. Thank you again, everybody, and we are out. As always, gotta go find the outro. Later, everybody. Peace out. See you next Thursday or Tuesday for Easily Riggs. Peace.
knowledge and relationships.